The seals have been broken, and the devils are here. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Concerto on Nocturne, our ongoing Vampire the Masquerade. Chronicle, I believe, is the proper term from the olden days. How they did it. How we did it. I did it.
Oh, no, come back.
I did it for a long time.
Come back here.
How's everyone out there in chat? Welcome, everybody, as we get ready to have some fun tonight in the blood-soaked realm of Vampire the Masquerade and my little corner of New York. That is it in terms of announcements and things. We're going to get into our game right now. Our game of Vampire the Masquerade.
Housewives and hoodlums?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why not? She's that right there. That's our leader of our coterie, and she named us, and everyone who was present at the time agreed that worked. So.
I don't know why they did.
I did not agree.
Oh, well, that's awkward now.
Well, outvoted then.
Shit.
Democracy functions. Housewives and hoodlums.
Okay. We're going to go ahead.
Housewives, hounds, and hoodlums? Does that include you more?
Gonna get into our episode of Vampire the Masquerade. Our next episode of Concerto on Concerto on Nocturne. Tonight's episode entitled... Well, episode 6, entitled... In a Graveyard. You stand within the main entryway. Not really a lobby, it's kind of open. There is a large baptismal font in the center, pointing towards the central aisle, leading up to a rather lavish altar. A array of candles lit. Both the ritual candles that wreath and illuminate the altar, but also votives. It is quiet, but for the tapping that you can hear in the rafters.
So it was mostly hard to see in here, right? But it looked like there were a few people in the pews.
There are. Roll perception.
I do have Sunfield scene still on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, that helped me out.
One.
That's a wits awareness test. Just double.
Yep.
3. I perceive a fuzzy baby.
Gentry
Hey.
cat. Well,
I found a graveyard cat.
Bringing it home.
So 1 for Sloan.
Mm-hmm.
And how many for Delia? 3. Sloane counts about 9 people in pews. It's Delia who picks up a hint of not spectral activity, but sorcery. As through the tabernacle, the large box that contains the Eucharist during Mass, through that, without disturbing its physical presence at all, walks a rather well-dressed gentleman with deep, rich brown skin, a charcoal gray suit, and a flashing silver cane. Makes his way onto the altar. Not standing specifically on the altar stone.
Okay, not
I should
like
say.
Jesus. Okay.
No. But he did just walk through that wall.
Yeah, he did. Julia, like, nervously twitches her. Sloan? She kind of, like, leans in quietly and like, grabs an arm. And, like, looks kind of, and, like, tries to, like, nudge you slightly in the direction to face. How do you see? It's just that my reality is sometimes confusing. Can you ascertain a fine-looking gentleman with a suit? Is that me? Is that you? Is that everyone?
By the time I'm directed towards it, is he still there? Is he gone?
Oh, he's standing behind the altar.
Oh.
Rather poised. Feet shoulder-width apart. Both hands on cane, directly center line. He has a royal purple undershirt beneath the charcoal gray. So the dress shirt is a royal purple with an almost pinstripe silver tie. He stands with his head back. You're impressed. Like, if there's anything to be impressed about him, it's not his fashion. It's actually the fullness of his hair. It is coiffed and doesn't look like it's been touched by product, but it still sits in this wave.
It's not like the thistledown gentleman like big. Okay.
He smiles over a very authoritative mustache as well. Eyes gleaming in the night.
Yeah. I see him.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Because she, like, leans a little bit closer and, like, tries to lean up on her toes so the flats of her shoes kind of pressing up. Just, like, because someone's taller, I think. Walk through a wall. Straight through. Walked through that wall. Straight through it, she says in a whisper, because she's trying to, like, lean.
Didn't you say you don't believe in ghosts?
No, there's no. Ghosts are just like an echo of the energies left through the biomechanical fields of this place, and the emotional resonance that people have while they're here also help anchor that. That is not important. You tricked me. No.
I don't understand how that's different from ghosts, but whatever.
Not
okay.
ghost. No. And Julie's like holding onto the arm and is trying to like nudge you towards a pew because we'd been standing for a while. And now she's slowly getting more awkward about the idea of.
There is a sharp resonance as the cane just cracks off the marble. Not once, not twice, but 13 times. Raises his head and says, "The bishop will now hold mass. Please be seated."
Yeah. All right. Fine. We can sit.
Back in the graveyard, where very giddy Zed is.
Cassandra gets this too!
Yeah, they're getting to hang out and do something that is fun. I mean, I've got this neat cat.
Charlie is very
So
sweet.
like we hop over the wall and I'm like, "Ooh, kitty," and I just wander away.
I mean, I always imagine Charlie is like a fox, though. Just, like...
The little sock feet.
Yeah! Yeah, I feel like... Yeah.
The distant echoes and white noise of New York City filters through the walls and the trees. You can hear the honking far off in the distance, the occasional side conversation wafting through the valleys of concrete. The light not directly cast in, but filtered through leaves, illuminating very easily for a pair of kindred to see. There is a nice array of classic Dutch grave markers. We are talking stone obelisks with names and deaths on them, with crosses etched into them. There also stands several mausoleum, and the occasional sepulcher.
What are we looking for again?
The flower. The flower. We need the flower. Flowers are
Right.
pretty and nice and not scary at all.
You see any yet?
No. Try to sniff them out, but it kind of... Charlie is a little, like,
It's spooky.
weirded out and spooked a little bit by, like, the whole area.
The
Just like,
undead is spooked by the graveyard. I love it.
Yep.
All right, well, let's keep looking then.
Okay.
Please make some. I'm gonna look at my sheet here, and we're gonna go wits investigation for this to look around, possibly see how high my voice can go.
Sorry for all the noises.
Oh no, they hear the
Taking
dice.
bones out?
Listen, that's the only asthma we're allowing on this channel.
Oh.
Just,
I was hoping that when I finally grew my tentacles that would be okay too.
Oh, the wet...
I don't want to hear any schlorping.
I'm gonna get some
Nice.
latex gloves and some Vaseline and
Get like a Ziploc bag, but like put the Vaseline on the Ziploc bag half filled and flop that on the desk.
I'll go get the can of chili.
so I went out of this conversation and wandered back in a weird time.
Yeah.
There's Vaseline and chili, and I'm confused.
We should probably leave it.
So
I
what
would.
are our roles here?
Hold on.
Wits investigation.
Rolls.
3.
3.
2.
2. As the pair of you walk about, you do notice Luke recognizes names
Mm.
because Luke's been in New York for long enough that he probably would have heard of the Stuyvesants. Not exactly 1800s, but the earlier you are in New York, the more you know of the history of New York. The old shit. But you notice that one of the mausoleums that are normally sealed, mind you, it seems like there's a bit of light through a crack in the corner of the door.
Charlie,
Yeah?
stay quiet. Don't move. Watch my back. I'm gonna go take a look at something.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Don't
try
don't
to creep
please.
sneakily up to the door.
Ah, perfect. The sneakitsy?
Sneakitsy.
Yes. Which, by the way, I am phenomenally bad at this. I will
sneaky?
have a-
Sneaky.
The sneaky. All right, let's see how you use the sneaky with a dex. No, composure stealth test.
Oh,
please.
I'm actually better at that. I get 2 dice instead of 1.
I prefer the Zeetsy way of doing things.
No successes.
Okay.
We have bonus. Ugh.
Luke says, "Watch my back and stay
Oh
quiet."
shit, we have bonus dice.
We do
You
have
do.
bonus dice.
I didn't say it though.
I will allow you to roll a pair as a one-off
First of the
reminder
night.
for the first of the episode.
Thank you.
How many?
Benevolent.
1 success.
You rolled a pair. You rolled 2.
Yes, I rolled 2. I got 1 success.
Gotta
Yay.
adjust the old dice here. By the way, if you want to know what this is all about, you can put in the command !! bonus beast into chat to find out what this is all about. So Luke puts in a modicum of effort into not stepping on every dry dead branch in this graveyard.
Oh, there's a branch. Oh, fuck, shit, there's another branch. Shit, fuck, there's so many branches.
Charlie's just watching like,
Terrible groundskeeper around here.
I walk like an inch and then I carefully bend down and pick up a branch and set it out like to the side, and then I walk an inch and I'm like,
He's still hitting leaves though, and there's still the occasional shit. Damn it!
fucking puts a headstone there.
He doesn't trip over any headstones though. He doesn't snap any spine-like branches. He gets his way up to the door. So Luke stands before the mausoleum door.
What do I see as I put my eye up to the...
Oh.
Okay, so you're putting your eye up to the door.
Yeah, it'll grow back.
Oh, nope, gotta go the other way.
By horror movie logic, it's that close up in the scene where they you get real nervous for them.
Luke
Yep.
puts his eye up to the light. His face illuminated in a thin strip along his eye line as he peers in. And Luke sees streetlight streaming into this mausoleum
Streetlight?
from above. The ceiling's glass.
We didn't take an elevator somewhere that I didn't see, did we?
I was the elevator.
So Charlie's not close enough for you to to talk with without breaking
Yeah.
stealth hard.
I signaled to Charlie, like, get over here. This is some weird shit.
Charlie emulates precisely what Luke did, but avoiding certain things he tripped on before.
So Luke summons Charlie to the Great Glass Elevator, and it's a fucking reference. You know
Hey,
what?
I got a golden ticket.
I'll have Charlie make the same roll, but with a bonus. I'll give you 2 extra dice on that. Not from the
So was it
bonus
before?
pool. So compose your
it-
stealth to see if Charlie can keep it
does
quiet.
silent movement help me?
Yes. Wait, silent movement?
Yeah, I have a skill in stealth for silent movement.
Oh, a specialty. You took a specialty in stealth for silent
Yeah.
movement. Okay, yeah. Then that adds
Yep.
another extra die.
See what happens. Look at me rolling 69 as usual.
Nice.
2.
2.
2.
Charlie does better. And now Charlie can, well, the 2 of you are at the door.
Hey, take a look in there and tell me what you see. I want to make sure that I'm not having a flashback or something. Okay.
Okay. Charlie goes to put her eye to the thing and just keeps kind of going like, are you sure? Like, you're not gonna prank me, are you?
No, I'm not. Look, if something happens, I'll fix it. Just tell me what you see.
Slowly puts her eye in and looks.
I'll
Does she
have,
see the same thing?
so you see the street light illuminating inside this mausoleum. And yeah, the ceiling is made of glass.
Kind of pulls back. Is that normal for the ceiling to be glass like that?
Well, so here's the thing. That can't be the ceiling of this thing.
Why?
Because there's street light pouring in. There's not street light, like, we're in a graveyard.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Greenhouses have to be glass so that it lets the sun in.
Yeah.
Maybe the flowers are in there.
I mean, okay. I'm gonna open the door. You're gonna rush in. I'll follow.
All right, I am fast. That's fine.
Okay. On 3. Ready?
Okay. Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
This
As you
runs in like the
open-
Flash.
As you open the door, it does swing outward. Oh, no. It goes in. It goes in. So there's a shove. From the left side, where the door swings open to the right, from the left side where you weren't looking properly,
Oh no.
A young-looking just ragamuffin-looking, like Luke but dirtier, style-wise, jumps out and screams while holding what looks like a fire extinguisher. Aims it at Luke and Charlie and just screams, "Ah!" and squeezes the trigger as a stream of yellow ejected powder flies at Luke and Charlie.
I try to flip out of there. No.
Both of you,
Cartwheel
I will
away.
allow. This is going to be a contested roll here to see how this rolls out. Dex. I'll accept Dex Athletics
Okay.
to give me a pure reflexes test here.
I'd like to congratulate this young fellow for using a fire extinguisher without ripping the entire thing open to do
Oh,
so.
no, that's an industrial-sized can of bear mace. That's what they look like. 3?
Hold on, I'm reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading something really quick about my celerity stuff. I know rapid reflexes help me here.
More than likely. Hold on, let me
You
double
zip
check.
zoom.
It lets you dodge gunfire normally.
Yeah.
I will let you apply. Hold on, you took rapid reflexes.
It's on page 253, if that
Mhm.
helps.
Already there.
Cool.
I'll let you apply those as dice.
Cool. So is that, 2?
Dice equal to your celerity rating.
That's 2 for me. Hey, my dice gave me a success. That's exciting.
Do you have fleetness, or did you take Cat's Grace and rapid reflexes?
Cat's Grace and Rapid Reflex.
Okay.
2 successes for me.
All right. Charlie, being the one that was going in first, catches most of it on her blouse. Was she wearing a sundress at the time?
Oh.
Luke is able to
Matter-
duck
it doesn't
behind
matter
Charlie,
anymore.
though, and avoid most of it.
How tall is Luke? Hold on.
Luke can get small if Luke wants to.
I'm as tall or as short as I need to be in the moment.
Now, you didn't get it into your eyes or into your nose, but bear mace is still extremely disorienting and irritating. So you will be receiving only a -1 on sight-based tests until you can wash this out.
Let me know when I'm allowed to respond.
We are now going to roll a quick initiative, and
Oh, Jesus.
actually, you'll roll initiative and keep track of it as we go back into
Our very not dangerous situation.
the church, where nothing is happening.
Nothing!
Everything is fine.
It's great. It's
You're muted, by the way.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is copacetic. Delia and Sloane have taken seats for mass that is being held by a self-appointed bishop.
You don't look like a priest. No.
Welcome, children, to our mass tonight. It's good to see familiar faces as you prepare to receive your sacrament. It is pleasant to see new faces in this place of worship. Please, come forward. As he takes 2 steps through the altar and stands at the top of the dais.
Fucking pimp. Get out of here. You don't even need to walk around.
Or just kind of glance to the side at Delia.
Oh god, are we the only ones? Looks to see if anybody else is moving, or if it's that hideous moment in life where everyone's looking at you when you go to look to them.
Make make wits awareness tests, please. The old perception awareness test. Damn. How many?
Poop! I'm too busy looking at Delia, wondering what she wants me to do.
2.
Oh yeah, everybody just kind of shifted and is like looking over their shoulder. Most of them are wearing it looks like they're wearing sweatshirts, so their faces are harsh shadows in hoods. You're only getting the block of light casting. They don't have eyes, they have brow lines. They have a splash of light on the cheek and the ridge of the nose. Everything else is darkness within these hoods. As they all look to Delia and Sloane. Delia is able to notice that sense the unseen is emanating from him. He also doesn't look all there.
Would Delia be familiar with the ritual required for passing through the ephemeral?
Please make a intelligence occult test.
Okay.
And Zed is currently cursing himself for not going into the church.
On the one hand, yes. And on the other hand, not at all.
I was just blinking at all my dots in stealth. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh. 3.
3. You've heard of a ritual. A rather complex level of blood sorcery.
I can't see your hand. Oh! Doable.
That is known as, well, it's been known that this can be done to give incorporeal passage to an individual. You don't think, from the way it feels through your sense the unseen, it doesn't feel like a clairvoyant projection. He's here, but not. He may be in a state of twilight, one could say.
With all the eyes on Delia, goes to lean forward as she's standing up, and as she's getting up, she's leaning into Sloane. Is like, careful, he's not quite all there. If you need to. Hi. Yeah, we are. Oh, woefully new. How nice of you to notice.
Please step forward so I might judge your character.
Oh, yeah. She longingly looks at Sloane like, oh, sweet Jesus, help me. And she kind of awkwardly, sidesteps out of the pews, taking her horribly sweet time to do so.
Oh, by the way, these are old pews. So if anybody's ever been to a really old church, there's this much space for you to walk past to get out of the pews. And you're locked into that shit when you sit down.
And Delia has this sizable, old doctor's bag that she uses as a purse, which is also a backpack, which is also a hiking bag, which is also a first aid kit, and she's holding the bag up while she tries to step past, and she's like, yeah, give me one minute.
Bony knees slamming into the hardwood of the pews. Heels clacking on the flagstone. How is Sloane responding?
I'll stand up and follow.
The vision of grace.
with a little bit more grace
Yeah.
and poise than Delia.
Very easy to do, I would add.
If something's in the way, just kind of step over it.
It is a big step. It's weird. You have to like put your legs sideways to get out, or when you do step over, it's like a big step because you're almost stepping over like the armrest of a chair.
You're Rikering.
It's
Fine.
I hated going to really old churches, by the way. Because of these specific pews. Anyway. Once you're in the center aisle, all eyes are on you. He stands forward, his hand extended.
Oh, I'm curious.
Gesturing to the space in front of him. There is a communion rail at the very front of this church as well, just before you would actually get to the altar's dais.
Keep the peasants in their place. Yes. Okay.
Or a quick way to get everybody's communion taken care of by going up and down the line?
Yeah, one or the other. Lily makes her way forward and... I don't think I have, well, I think I might have your name. Hi, I'm Delia Brooks, and she offers a hand, but there's a sort of smirk as she's looking down.
His hand returns to... Now, did you walk up? You walked up to the communion rail?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the communion rails have a small kneeling bench on them. The more merciful ones are actually cushioned. This one is not. Somebody needs to...
Too old for comfort.
Yeah.
We have history, you don't need comfort.
So Delia's kind of reaching a little bit and up to get her hand to where this individual stands. His hand returns to the top of the cane. Says, "What brings you to Mass tonight?"
Same reason why I just tried to touch your hand. Curiosity.
You wish to know of the truth?
I like to be very well versed in everything, even if it gets me in a little trouble.
The nights have been fraught lately, and with the time of thin blood upon us, we all prepare in our own ways. Have you come to prepare yourselves? As he looks to Sloane as well.
Does any of this sound familiar?
Please make intelligence. Maybe it's an occult test. Yeah. Intelligence occult.
Oh, good. That's one of the few mental skills I have. That's cocked. 1.
Oh, this is some shit that the Sabbat were saying during the Battle of New York. This is shit that was being screamed as like rallying cries by the street captains. Oh, this is some Cainite shit.
The worst place to be.
I don't think it hurts to be prepared for anything.
There are those who have, in recent nights, as he kind of starts to straighten up and less talk to you and talks to the assembly. There are those who in recent nights have put out a call to run and gather to fight the sleepers, to find them, to silence them. We have a different opinion of that, don't we? The assembly kind of nods. There's a bit of a groan. Another graveyard cat.
This is the best graveyard ever. Blessed.
He looks down at you.
Wow.
Those who are asleep are not the old antediluvians, but our fellow kindred. The Camarilla continues to spread their lies, keeping your history from you. We, here in the Church of Cain, plan to rectify that.
So you're saying that it's not the antediluvians, it's just normal kindred? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Would you say that one who is not aware could be considered asleep?
Poetically, yes. It's a fine word.
So we must fight those who are asleep.
Ignorance.
Yes.
How exactly do you go about educating if you are so difficult to find?
Well, if you wish to join our church, you can drink from the cup. As he turns and starts and walks through the altar once more, right over to the tabernacle.
Is the sorcery still radiating from, or now that he had walked through it, it's more coming from him, or is there a secondary radiation?
It's definitely coming from him. He slams his cane down, this bright silver cane, slams it down on the onto the dais, and there is a momentary shudder in the air, almost like when a heavy subwoofer hits a beat. Something you can feel in your chest, an air pressure wave that washes over you. And he reaches up and opens the tabernacle. Reaches in with one hand, puts the cane underneath his left arm as he holds a goblet in his left. And a bowl, and a covered bowl in the other. As he turns.
You realize... Nothing. I'll chat it. It's bullshit. Keep going.
As he turns and walks to the altar and places the pair down. As Luke and Charlie have screaming acid in their eyes. Which we will return to in but a moment. You guys can talk amongst yourselves for a few. I have to use the restroom, sorry.
We're in the worst possible place!
Yeah, I literally fought against these people.
You know, Kane, yeah, sure, I guess, if you want to not believe in numbers.
I literally ended up.
My backstory is fighting against these people, so I'm just going. I'm not just some random other white-haired vampire in the city. Just ignore me.
I ended up owing my life to get away from these people.
That's why I yelled no so loud.
I heard. We all heard. Everyone heard.
Across continents heard, actually, because of her viewership.
Yeah.
I think things happened, everything that happened between me and Grigori also happened to get him away from these people.
Oopsie doodles.
I have bear mace on my clothes.
Oh.
We could use some bear mace if you want to steal that and bring it in the church. It could be very helpful.
Charlie, you go in first. Charlie, I'll get the door and you can run in. It'll be fine. Me.
I will say I'm interested.
I'm never listening to you again.
This motherfucker can actually interact and not interact with things, which is a deviation from the main, like, meta knowledge I have, which alerts me and makes me nervous because now he's off-roading it. Could be anything.
It's very interesting not knowing anything coming into this, because Chad was like screaming, and I'm going.
Yeah, Riley and I were on the same page going,
weird culty religions are normally bad. That's it. I'm just going off Riley knowledge, which is cults are bad.
It didn't mislead you.
Okay.
The guide where you needed to be. It in fact, big bad. Yes.
I mean, they're not a cult. They have tax exempt status. They're a recognized religion.
Oh.
Recognized.
Yeah. There are certain titles that are like alarm bells.
They've got federal documentation, I'm sure.
The Church of Cain has federal documentation.
We can get Danny to delete that, right?
It's the world of darkness. I have to believe that. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that in one of your many books of Nod?
There's only the one book. There's just lots of missing pages.
Yeah, how do you verify when you think you found one anyway? I have questions.
Well, you'd have to find and ask this guy named Beckett.
Yeah, that's easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. I'm just gonna.
Should just glow. Explode in confetti when you find a piece. Pew!
Or just a little thing pops up in the corner, 5 out of 320.
Oh my god, yes, Steam achievement.
Fuck. Yeah.
I have to see if I would know what's in the goblet that they want us to drink from.
Ooh, yeah,
bear mace.
I'm gonna be
so I do know.
Bear mace. They really like bear mace.
Yes, it's bear mace.
I do know what's in the, but I can't tell you.
Nope.
Neither in game nor out.
Yep.
I'll have to roll for it. It's fine.
I'm just gonna.
You can just drink it and find out.
Oh yeah, put your mouth on it and that'll go over well.
Suck it and see.
Pocket it.
The sad part is I might be the best person to do that.
Yeah, actually.
Cheek it. Like a chipmunk, just like pocket it in your cheek and just like, great.
Do you want this spat in a vial? Delia?
Oh
So
yeah, she keeps those in her bag.
Did you keep anything in your mouth or just spit in your hand?
Just here you go.
Is it a spit tube?
If Luke was gonna cheek something, could he make a flesh pocket in his cheek and contain whatever it was?
You could probably do
that.
Yeah.
Some
in
Zemeckis
his
bullshit
throat on the fly, so it's swallowed. And then later on just bleh.
Although there is something that'd be curious that Delia would love to know about the Zemeckis if they let her get close enough to find out with the machine. How much do you absorb through the membrane?
With a machine.
Yeah,
Probably
so
not best.
your
best
tongue
not to
in your
keep
mouth,
there.
if you were to suck on something and not actually swallow anything, you absorb certain things right away. Think about the sleeping medicine, melatonin, melt in your mouth, Claritin. Look at that shit. Tastes terrible.
But that happens because you have a pulse and your blood is transmitting it.
How much?
Our blood is largely inert.
It is well, okay. So now here comes biology knowledge. Is it a passive absorption or is it an active absorption? Because diffusion and osmosis are passive, and it depends on the
Sure.
concentrations on either end of the barrier. But if you're talking about blood, the blood needs to move it through the body. So
Right.
it might only get into this area.
Is that
So,
enough
like-
to blood bond someone?
Everything would be a local anesthetic then, essentially.
Every heroin, local anesthetic.
Can you pocket this bear mace and then shoot it out of your hand back at this person?
What is he fucking like inverse Moroku? Just
The inverse
Yes!
I'm
Yes!
writing that down now. Thanks.
All right.
It would be amazing.
Now that theory crafting and nerding out is complete,
oh.
For now.
Oh yes, back to danger.
I'm in danger.
the air stings, and both Charlie and Luke can feel like it's not full on tearing, but you're definitely squinting, because as much as your state of undeath inures you to many sources of injury and pain, mace is still a massive irritant. And there's nothing that says Kindred can't be annoyed by substances.
Man, when shit gets in your eyes, it gets in your eyes. Like,
And it burns. So that's why it's only a -1 die for now.
we make tears.
So, initiatives.
Oh, I see wrong.
Yeah, I forgot what to roll.
It's a singular. This is where we divert from the way the rules are in V5, and we go with the way it's calculated in Chronicles. Actually,
Is it your dex plus a d10?
no, it's more. It's Dex plus your athletics plus a D10.
Ah, I never remember that part because it doesn't apply to me.
Oh, athletics. Okay.
That's
Okay.
one reason why you might not realize it.
7.
Fuck. 16.
All right, Sonic.
So
I
Charlie,
gotta
go
go
first.
fast. My eyes burn.
Charlie, go first.
It's just. Ah, no! Ow! I hate it. And
Look, I'll
She's
help
just
you
gonna-
rinse your eyeballs off later.
you shut up! And she's just gonna run at the person, like best she can surmise where they are, and try to like just knock the container out of their hand.
Okay.
Just a bad no.
So that's going to be Dex Brawl. Subtracting their defense, which is a 3.
Okay. Yay. Oh wait, and then I'm losing 1 for my eyeballs being burned with bear mace, right?
Yes, -1 for Bear Mace in the eyes. gonna-
That gives me like a chance die essentially.
Do you want to use bonus?
You can use bonus dice.
So it's not a chance die?
I'll use 1 to make it not a chance die.
Yeah.
That work for everybody? Okay. Don't fail me now. Success!
It's the spirit of chat.
Spirit of chat, yes.
All
I got
right.
1 success to slap that shit out of his hand.
I'm sorry. It's Dex plus Composure for initiative mod.
Oh, it would be the same
Defense
for me anyway.
has athletics in it. That's what it is.
Okay, so I was right.
Well, then hang on, that changes mine.
E. And put mine. Yeah. It
Uh,
was the same
to-
amount of dice for me.
To 9.
Okay, it doesn't change the actual order of things, but duly noted. If you want to make a note on your character sheets, what your defense and what your initiative mod is. Your defense is the lowest of your dex or your wits plus your athletic score. And your initiative modifier is your dex and your composure.
Ooh, they're the same. Okay.
That's convenient.
I don't know
So
where to put that on your
Charlie
list.
rushes in and slaps the crusty-looking undergrad, because as you swing through, you actually rip off a lanyard that was around their neck, and it clatters to the floor. It looks like it might be an NYU lanyard.
Did some nerd bring bear mace when investigating a graveyard? Be amazing.
In the city.
It is now
Damn it.
her activation. She immediately backs up as much as she can to the other side of the mausoleum. And pulls out a keychain with a smaller thing of mace on it.
No, are you kidding? Why do you have so much mace?
And just stay back.
Do you have a permit for that? Ow.
Next activation is Luke.
Mesmerism. Drop the mace, sit down on the floor.
Yes. So mesmerism is what? Dominate 2 or 1?
2.
So you can give a little bit more complex orders with that one. Gotcha. Drops it, sits down. And looks very confused.
Tell me who you are.
Who does number 2 work?
My name is Jennifer Clamus. I'm a botany undergrad at NYU.
Why are you here? Sorry, has to be a command. Tell me why you're here.
I'm taking care of the rare flowers for the bishop, my master. And she kind of like wide-eyed looks around.
As warning bells just go off in my head. What's the bishop's name? Tell me the bishop's name.
Master.
Who does
What-
number 2 work for?
What do other people call him?
I've only heard another name once. They call him Master Singh.
Do I know this name?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's a niche.
bad.
Is that? Oh, isn't that
Grigori's
where-
old
Yes.
packmate,
So
Yeah.
the judge.
Broski.
Super murdery one?
great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a bishop. Oh, fantastic.
Jesus.
Tell me where the flowers are.
They're in the bays. And she kind of
Point
looks
to-
around at the different mausoleum covers in the room.
show me where the flowers are.
She points at one of the covers right next to her. And then starts pointing at each one down the rows.
I'll open the one next to her.
They're not really. There's no handles. They look like they're cemented to the walls. These when you finish off a mausoleum, you don't like. It's not like a morgue drawer. They put the casket in there and then seal that with cement, and then put the basically a memorial marker on that drawer.
Show me how you open this.
She awkwardly, like, butt scoots over to maintain the seated position that you commanded her to be in, and she reaches up and presses in on, like, the third letter in on the name, and presses it, and you can hear a click and a hiss release, and a drawer opens, and a hydroponic bay drawer has been installed into this, what once was a mausoleum plot. It just kind of slides out in front of Luke, and it is awash with LEDs as the light shines up on Luke's face. The distorted light of the LEDs casting that distorted aquatic light that is tinged with red as it's filtering through red leaves of what looks about 30 individual fireflower plants.
Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Ow.
On the one hand, we got what we came for. On the other hand, where is the... Tell me where the bishop is right now.
He's holding mass right now.
Take a nap.
I'm gonna take a nap. I'm tired.
I'm gonna need Luke to come over to my house some nights and
Take a nap! Okay.
Seriously, holy shit.
Charlie, they're currently in the middle of mass with a Sabbat bishop.
What? Oh no. Alright, well, obviously we can't go in there right now. Oh god, that sucked. Ow.
But, okay, look. Come here. Come here.
What?
I'm going to clean your eyeball.
Oh god, how?
You just got to suck on it a little bit. It'll be fine.
What? No! Don't you fucking... No! No, just help me! Just help me get the flowers.
It's a
Ow.
hydroponic drawer, by the way. There's water in the drawers with the flowers.
Oh, Charlie would totally know that. She just
Yeah,
be
that's all.
like, oh, just like, just takes little handfuls and just is like, ah.
Luke wants to fix her eye like a
Right.
goddamn golf ball washer.
No, thank you. So, okay.
So wrong.
So luckily for our botany friend here, I also took botany. Okay, that's better. So I can at least try to get these out of here, because they can't stay here. Like, that's part of the deal. They have to not be here anymore, and we get some of them, so we just take them, right?
I don't know that we can possibly take all of them surreptitiously.
Well, what if we just take what we need and maybe make a electrical fire with the lights, like something went wrong?
Napping.
That's a possibility. We need to do whatever
this
we're
the
going to
only-
do quickly.
Is this the only drawer?
No.
Oh no. Charlie just starts looking at all the other, like, potential drawers and just tries opening them. Like, how did she do it? She what part did she poke?
Third letter.
Okay. The next one, like, right next to it, she's just gonna boop, try to poke the letter.
That raised letter on the brass memorial plaque presses in with a click. And it slides out, and another one. This one, not full filled, only half filled. So there's like 15 of them in here. It's 3 rows of 5 in each. 3 rows of 10.
Is there... does this mausoleum go any further? Is there another room?
No, this is a singular mausoleum. From what you can see, there are 12
Oh, jeez. Am I seeing any, like,
plaques.
containers or anything?
Hmm?
Do I see any containers or anything?
All right. So
A
make
bag,
wits.
a crate, a box.
So if you're investigating the stuff around here, wits investigation, both of you.
Cool.
See what you find.
Do I still...
Both
do
of
I
you.
have my one back from my eyeball?
Yes, since you've washed your eyes, yes.
Yay!
Luke was more worried about licking Charlie's eye than and never. I'll assume Luke washed his eyes in as soon as he saw Charlie doing it. All right, and did it himself. I'm not going to hold that.
No
to you.
eyeball sucking today.
I actually...
He does the fucking Beetlejuice eye flick, and they roll back, and all of a sudden you just hear him going, his cheeks puffing out, and then all of a sudden, and then his eyes are back in.
Oh, I hate it.
I was actually thinking I would look right at Charlie and just, like, pop one out, dip it in and swish it around, pop it back in, pop the other one out, swirl it around, pop it back in. Just, like, but maintaining eye contact with at least one eyeball the whole time.
Maintaining eye contact, he just keeps it trained on her the whole time he's washing it.
Is this exposure therapy?
I don't...
All right.
Yeah,
what's
when I bust into
investigation
horde
tests?
form, I need people to not freak out, so...
If that's a thing that Luke does, Charlie definitely looks at him and goes, my dad used to do this thing where he'd flip his eyelids and, like, chase me around the house. This is far worse.
Good.
And I really hate it.
The world is a horrible place, child. I got one success. Charlie beats me on this one.
What did Charlie
Yeah,
get?
2.
2?
2.
Charlie, okay, so Luke finds gardening tools. Cultivation tools are basically hidden in a corner just behind the door that you swung open. It seems that it's mostly in a big backpack. And it looks like maybe that's where the bear mace was being kept as well. Charlie, though, finds documentation and tracking tags. Oh, not tracking tags. Dates and data collection tags on each of the slots. And there's some that are currently listed as out. Out for resonance is what some of them are listed as.
Resonance? Okay.
Yeah, the ones getting planted. Because they need to soak up the rage.
Rage across gardening.
If I use sense the beast now around these flowers, do they seem like ragey yet, or are they kind of like normal, passive?
Docile, happy flowers.
Yeah, are they happy flowers? Are we talking Bob Ross flowers, or are we talking like Rage Against the Machine flowers?
Please make a wits awareness test. for that.
Okie dokie. Such rage gardening. Oh, I got a cocked one. Ooh. 1.
Okay. The ones that you're looking at that are currently listed as, they're not saplings. That's for trees. Younger
Sprouts?
flowers, essentially.
Sprouts. Yeah.
Buddings? No. Anyway, yeah, a listing for it just has a date of when it was planted. The more recent ones of when they sprouted do not have that. But as you go around and you've opened the other mausoleum chests, the way it's lined up, it's 3, 3, 3, 3. There's only 6 that actually open. The ones up top don't open. Just the ones on the bottom.
Okay.
As you went through and tested the drawers. There are a few that seem to be post-residence cultivations that you get that vibe off of.
Okay.
Connery, where's
Right,
the nearest
so-
gas station? Did we happen to pass one conveniently nearby?
It's Luke
Why does it
having a
always have to
niche
be fire?
that needs a scratching.
Okay.
This is downtown Manhattan. There are not many gas stations.
Yeah.
This is a
Bodegas
historical
might have
landmark
lighter
in the
fluid.
middle. This is a historical landmark in the middle of, like, business Wall Street kind of construction.
Oh, so not even a lot of bodegas. Okay.
No, it's kind of difficult to get your hands on a really good bacon, egg, and cheese. That's
Well-
one word, by the way.
Yes. Always one word. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
So yeah, Charlie feels a little bit of a little soupçon of anger coming off of some of the flowers in the drawers towards the back.
All right.
Okay.
I found this bag. Can you put the good ones in this bag?
Okay. Are there any like transfer pots sitting around? Or are they all in their own individual, like the pot comes out, or is it one like
There
trough?
are some transfer pods. They're like glass jars with a water plug sort of at the bottom that you can pull the they're like already put into like a disc like bracket so that you could pull them out and then put them in. You actually notice that it
It's an
does
arrow
say
garden.
property of NYU on them.
Interesting.
As they
That's interesting.
load them in.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take 2 of those, and I'm gonna take a young one out and an older one out that's ragey.
Just one of each.
But I'm gonna make sure that they're one of each, and I'm gonna make sure that the data for each of them is like with it.
You're so honest.
Like I'm just gonna take those 2, because this is what I was told we get 2, and that's a deal. And
We
try to
get
transplant them into the glass
We get
and
two
put them in
above
the
and
backpack.
we get 2 above and beyond whatever we grab. We should grab more than 2.
Well, I want to make sure we at least get the 2 that we were promised before you do what you're really good at with the fire.
Unfortunately, I don't have the tools necessary to set this place on fire. We're just gonna have to smash, but we need to hurry up because Delia and Sloan are in danger.
I know. I'm working as fast as I can.
It's fine.
So, I'm gonna have you. Is Luke gonna help with the transfers?
No, like Luke sees what Charlie is doing, goes, that's awfully delicate, and just kind of
Mr.
like
Flesh
lets it
Pockets
happen.
can't do delicate.
Nope. And instead, I'm out towards the entryway, making sure that no one's like coming towards us, and I'm also looking at the building, trying to figure out how we get in without being noticed.
Okay, so Luke's keeping an eye out. Charlie is going to collect the flowers. So for the purpose of cinematic expedience, I'm going to request a few I'm going to ask some questions, and then you're going to answer them, and then we are going to move forward with the scene as though it resolves smoothly. Charlie is going to transfer how many? There is currently what looks to be 110 available flowers, not counting the ones that are currently out for cultivation.
Okay, how many would fit in the pods in the backpack?
There's enough pods for maybe like 10.
Okay. However many she can get in pods and in that backpack, so they're kind of hidden. She'll want to have like an even amount between older ones and younger ones.
It's kind of a backpack. I mean, it's a cute one with like wheels on it and a handle, and like you're fairly sure there's some like dead stickers on it, like the dead bears on it.
Okay.
Like the backpack would be singing Aiko Aiko if it could.
As long as it's not trucking.
It's gonna take up the whole backpack essentially to do that. There was these pods took up the majority of the backpack's space, and in the back of it there were other tools kind of put into side pockets, but the majority of the backpack itself is pods for these plants. Each one is the size of a small thermos. The pods.
Okay.
So she wants to take 5 and 5?
If she can.
Yeah. No, you
Fit 'em
can.
in the backpack.
There's 10. There's 10 pods in the bag.
She's also, because she usually has like a bag, and she always has a thermos for like water, so she like fits in. She's gonna open her own thermos and put one more young one in that, and put it back in her bag.
Okay.
If that's okay.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
That does make sense. I'm gonna actually, for that one, I'm gonna have you make a composure academics botany test. This is the weirdest die pool I've ever asked for.
Yes.
Composure academics botany.
Is it academics or science?
Science. If botany is science, then use science.
Yes. Then I science. Okay, composure.
Oh, I wonder if that counts.
Science.
Only on DLG, folks, will you see your players making composure science tests with a specialty in botany.
Botany. Yay.
You need to keep calm or the plant will explode.
Oh, Christ, please don't.
I got nervous for a second.
3.
Okay. You're fairly sure you transferred it in such a way that you didn't ruin it. You might be able to plant it and cultivate it. The other ones were designed to be transferred, so that didn't require that, but you kind of went a little above and beyond for that. Okay.
Yay.
Luke!
Overachiever Charlie.
Yes.
Luke's going to be rushing about, keeping an eye out, essentially.
Yeah.
Once Charlie is complete, what is Luke's what is Luke's action to take?
All right. Charlie.
Hmm?
You gotta hop the fence, find some place to stash that backpack, meet me back here. Try not to make any noise.
My backpack is full of glass.
So, be careful.
Fine. Once Charlie's all packed, she's gonna try to sneak across to try to get out.
All right. While Charlie is doing that, I'm sorry. I'm also watching Oliver here try to figure out how he's going to jump onto the wall from my desk around all of my equipment. He's
So
doing
if Zed
okay.
goes dark,
He's
it's the
doing
cat's
alright.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what's happening. Oh no, he got it. All right. Okay, cool. He's gargoyling now. So while Charlie is doing that, I'm gonna go through the pods or whatever, the drawers, and I'm just gonna start like scooping up, destroying, pulling apart the flowers, and then dropping them back in the drawers, and then closing them.
This is why he didn't help. Look, I'm harvesting.
Jacket made me that better. Blah 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 blah.
I'm Luke, and I'm helping.
Next time on Gardening with Luke.
So yours made clacky noises from your bracelets.
All right. So Luke proceeds to just rip and tear through these plants. I'm not gonna have you roll anything. If you had been like smashing stuff, I would have had you try to roll like strength or something like that. But no, you're
Mulching.
actually tearing through shit. Leaving behind just petals and stems bereft of each of their connections and connective tissues, and just letting them float in the hydroponics left behind. There's even one of them you have trouble reclosing it because one of the pod brackets is kind of sideways and in the way of the rail, so you just kind of give it an extra shove and there's like a crunch as you close it and it clicks. But even then, it doesn't close all the way. It just kind of like, it clicks, but then it pushes back slightly. So there's like there's a gap still, but whatever. Job done.
Get some WD-40 on that shit.
Oh my.
At this point, Charlie has dropped off the bag, or taken the bag with, and made it to the other side. I'm not going to have you roll right now for it, because I'm surmising that Luke and Charlie are going to be making their way towards the church now.
Yeah.
And it's just as they enter as they get to the church door. Are they gonna now we're gonna pick up literally right here. Luke and Charlie are now at the church door. What has Charlie done with the bag?
Well, I'm trying to have us go to a back door if there is one. Is that possible?
Okay.
It's really rude to show up in the middle of service. That's when everybody stares at you.
So we're gonna
Yes, it is.
So this is Wit's investigation to see if you can find a proper side door. I will continue the scene inside then. If you had just gone through the door, you would have joined the scene immediately. But if you're taking time to go look for another door, that's going to take some more time, so more stuff is going to evolve inside.
Understood.
Are we both rolling for door? Or is it just Luke?
Bishop, you can both look for it.
I got 4.
1.
Luke will find something if it's there.
I look for door.
After about 5 minutes of looking around, Luke finds an unlocked door to the sacristy. That's the back place where the priests are.
Thanks.
Yep.
God will see you then over here. Thanks for
I
translating.
realize not everyone knows the anatomy of a Catholic church.
So the priests
lucky
hang out in
you.
the sack. Got it. That sounds right.
Yep.
Fuck.
I've taken many a dumps during during the homily in the sacristy.
I got sick back there. We were supposed to be doing the play. We were doing like a play of like what happened on Good Friday, and I was like 7, and I started getting sick, and they had to run me back there. So that was fun. Great way to see behind the scenes.
I knew right when the homily was coming up, it's like, I could take a dump now. I was an altar server. What else was I gonna do? Sit and listen? Anyway.
Right?
The homily is the time for the priest to just talk. And talk.
Yeah.
And talk.
Oh, priest is getting wound up. All right, time for some good works.
It's gonna work out some evil. I'll be back. So Luke and Charlie are gonna find a door to the sacristy. Meanwhile, Delia and Sloane, standing at the front of the aisle, right up against the rail, the communion rail.
Mm-hmm.
As you watch, and mind you, you ever want to interrupt or do anything, this is not a cinematic sequence, so you can't do
Press
anything.
X to interrupt.
You can
Okay.
press X to interrupt here if you really want to, but if you proceed with watching, he places the chalice and this very ornate gold sloped to a point dish, almost like a ultra fancy like you might see this on Delia's coffee table where she keeps Turkish delights. Kind of a bowl. It's gold, it's gilded, it's got emeralds, and it's got rubies around the outside.
I got it from Design Toscano. They have a catalog, and they sell the cutest, like, sloth. It's a porcelain sloth. No, it's fiberglass. It's fiberglass.
He places both of these down on the altar, removes his cane, and places it in front of him as well. He reaches over to and sliding between his index and his ring thingy, he slides and picks up the top delicately with a clawed hand and reveals red petals almost overflowing out of this dish.
Mm.
He then throws his arm out, his jacket and dress shirt pulling back from the gesture, and bites in across his wrist and starts bleeding into the chalice.
Oh, this is very awkward, sir, but I'm afraid you're a little early. I can't partake for reasons. I'm on consignment from a few different employers. I don't want you to waste
She's
anything.
mine.
What?
He looks confused for a moment at the outburst. After a few pumps of his hand, licks across his wrist, the bite sealing immediately. And after he licks his wrist, he just holds and... And the actual sound trails off. Make wits awareness tests. I know when Zed is like, "Ooh, I know this thing."
Fuck,
There's
alright,
a
I'm
bouncy,
re-rolling.
excited vampire
dice?
nerd just
How
sitting
many
there.
dice do I get to re-roll with a willpower?
Oh,
Ooh,
using
you want to
willpower?
use you want to use willpower? You get to re-roll 3 dice.
Okay, because I rolled fuck all.
Tell me what you get, and then I'll tell you if I'm gonna do something else.
1. I'm rolling like booty tonight.
No, I'll take it. Nothing from me.
Sloane notices something because as he goes, there's an instinctive moment where Sloane starts to respond. Because you just blurted out, "She's mine," and then you went to go say something else because this asshole is literally shushing you. And before you could complete the first syllable, you notice This has never happened before. Not only can, when you say something, you cannot hear your voice coming out of your lips, but you can't even hear it within your own ear. And that's where we're going to take our break. Back in we go, as the silence of death has been placed around. By the way, I'm using, for those of you who are keeping track at home, I am also using some legacy abilities that appear in other books. I don't think the current V5 allows you to use Obfuscate aggressively on others. Mostly just for yourself and willing subjects. But this was an old judge trick that I always thought was fun. If I ever played one, I'd enjoy the ability to literally turn a room into a silence trap.
Well, that's like... That was their whole deal, was that... Yeah, like, that's why it was the level 1 power, was because, like, that's how the, you know, assassin clan commits assassinations without people freaking the fuck out all the time. It was a whole thing. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, that's
Whatever.
why there was no sound.
You're
when
not
you
invested in it
murdered
at all.
people. Okay.
Yep.
Got it now.
Coming together.
Okay. I was just doing some math in my head. So as the silence of death falls around, and Sloane has that moment of... a very unnerving moment, because even when you are deafened, you can usually hear the vibrations of your own voice in your jaw. In your inner ear. You can, even when muffled, you can hear the maw in there. It's not even there. So there is no noise being created. All vibration that is sonic is quelled. As he reaches down, points, or walks around the altar this time, points to Delia and gestures across his wrist and then points into the chalice. There's a momentary... You catch a disappointed sigh of an expression, closed eyes, and a nod. As he turns to Sloane, makes the same offer.
Do I know what he's trying to do?
He's gesturing to his wrist the same way he opened his, and then pointing to add it to the chalice.
Does this mean anything to me?
Make an intelligence occult test.
Okay. Can I use bonus dice?
Please do.
Does anybody mind if I use 2?
Got my vote personally.
Okay. We're in danger. Alright.
I have feelings.
Okay, worth it. 3.
This is kind of like blood bond shit, but this is a bot blood bonding shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is... You'd heard from the shovel heads that you were dispatching. Occasionally you would keep one around before putting him into final death, asking him questions about what the fuck they were doing. Trying to understand your enemy is part of defeating your enemy. Aw. And in this situation, listen, I don't need nitpicking going on right now. To Sloane, they were all shovelheads. Okay? Fucking stay in your lane right now, motherfucker.
That is vibrating. Information. Sorry.
I sent Connery a note.
Yeah, I did. I got it. And you're gonna sit the fuck back down.
Oh. Hey, out of curiosity, I don't normally need a rouse check for this. So it's like to move something small. Could Delia just be like, while they're looking, the bishop's looking at Sloane and just knock a candle over?
To do it surreptitiously, you are going to have to rouse check. And these aren't just like a candle. These are candelabra.
They don't have like the weird like tears oh candle cry candles like the.
Yeah, but they're embedded with so much wax that trying to move it's kind of one item.
Okay, but I could rouse check for it.
You could rouse check to move it because it would require more force than just like a delicate if.
Yeah. Okay.
I have another question.
Okay, let me finish what I was saying
Yes.
for Sloane first. And then, so remember,
also
hold on to your question.
No, I'm fine.
Aw. You guys are being given.
Thank you.
Should be up to 9 now if I do my math correctly. Yes. All right. So the Sabbat that you kept around, occasionally they would talk about the bond they had that transcended the dirty enslavement that the others would do, that the Camarilla practice, and how they're more in tune with each other than you could ever. As you tore the throat out and then snapped their head off and just left them in a hump on the ground to ash in the morning as the sun rose. But occasionally you let them speak long enough before it turned into ravening drivel. That you caught on that there's this regular theme of them having some kind of ritual where they would do something similar to blood bonding, but it was more, they viewed it as more spiritual and less enslaving, but it was still a bond of sorts.
My question is this a danger to me?
Very much so.
Specifically them, though.
Oh!
Yes, for that reason.
It would take a very interesting level of power to do it. You know that you are unbondable by standards of the Camarilla. But you don't know how this directly involves, because this is some Cauldron sorcery shit. This is some Sabbat sorcery magic going on as far as your understanding goes. So it might be something different.
I'll kind of side-eye Delia.
You probably saw her just as she's just looks like she was like, oh, adjusting, like, oh, there was something in my eye. As she's going to attempt to knock over that candle.
All right, so as Delia is doing that, what is Sloane going to do?
Oh. What am I gonna do?
Drink. Well, add your blood to the cup or deny it. Delia already rejected it.
I'm gonna take a moment and just meet eyes with the guy running the mass.
Bishop.
And I'm just gonna start, like, basically racking my brains, like, do I know who this is? Do I know who this is? Do I know who this is? Because now I'm surveying danger. Like, I know we're in danger. What level of danger are we at?
You have so many wonderful toys for this specific kind of stuff. So let me go to your lore sheet.
Because you were the one that actually, I think, gave us some of our preliminary data.
Yeah, you were the one. You were the one that knew about this guy to begin with. You know what? I'm not even gonna have you roll it. You know, this is somebody that Grigori used to run with. You remember the silver rod wielding judge who would kill people in pure silence.
Mm-hmm.
It's all clicking. This is a guy who ran side by side with somebody at Grigori's level.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna let my eyes kind of like look at him, look down at his cane staff, whatever he's holding.
He's not holding the cane.
Really...
It's back on the altar.
Oh, he left it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of like very obviously like let my eyes run over him in like a recognition kind of way. And then I'm just gonna tap Delia on the leg in like a you need to go kind of way.
Are you trying to do this surreptitiously, or do you care if he notices?
I'm basically trying to keep his attention on my face.
Gotcha.
Because I'm looking at him very obviously like, oh shit, I know who you are.
All right, so this is a roll-off between you and him for,
Okay.
We're trying to be subtle.
Subtle hands, not subtle eyes.
Well, that's you're trying to be manipulative. So this is going to be manipulation, subterfuge.
Oh, goody.
For this gesture. For you to be slick and know how to get it past him. And
should I use bonus?
you can use...
Do we feel like this is important?
I don't think you fully appreciate how unathletic Delia is and does not have celerity. If you think I'm just gonna zip zoom out of here.
Okay. I'll just straight roll it then and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
The zombie one is coming. The
It's
zombie one is
not
coming.
good. It's not nothing, but it's not good.
Alright, what did Delia get for her rouse?
Oh, I'm not hungry.
Not hungry.
Not
Cool.
hungry.
I got 2 on 2 dice.
Wow.
Alright, universe.
He doesn't seem...
I'm not gonna beat him.
He locks eyes with you and has a... For a moment, it looks like he revels in the recognition. And in the space of that, you're able to tap Delia. Because I rolled 1 on 8 dice.
Whew!
Oh!
Alright, take those to the river as well.
Universe. The universe.
No, only cleanse those if you're using them on Sunday. If you're not using them on Sunday, leave them dirty.
So, 4 successes for Delia to knock over this candle.
Mm-hmm.
You knock over the candle, you also knock over a whole candelabra.
Neat.
Oh no!
Oh, what's happening?
Luke is now okay. So as the candelabra tips off the dais for the altar, the fire passes over the lens, and we scene shift over to Luke trying to open the door to the sacristy. Luke and Charlie, are the pair of you being Are you being sly about this, or are you trying to get in there as fast as possible? You're muted.
Well, he did mute the room.
Yeah, everyone mute your mics if
Yeah.
you're in the church.
Immersion!
I think that my original intent was to try to be kind of sneaky. And since I don't know what's going on in there, I don't know that the time for sneak is past.
Okay, so Luke is going to be sneaky. What's Charlie? Is Charlie following Luke's lead, or is Charlie just going to be like, fuck this shit, they're in danger?
Oh, fuck. That's tough. Because Charlie wants to help, but because if she hasn't heard anything from inside the church, she's gonna assume everything's okay for now. There's no screaming and no fire, so I think we're okay.
Working on the
Not
fire
yet.
part, though.
There's been an attempt.
So, if we get to a door, does the door have a sign on it?
Yeah, it says
Or is it just-
sacristy on it.
I don't think we're allowed back here.
Deliveries only. Like,
You deliver a beatdown. There you go. Now you can be there. Congratulations, girl.
We're not really allowed anywhere. So, just go.
if you think about it, we violate all the laws of nature, so really, what's the point? Luke getting real philosophical here.
You know, according to Kierkegaard, what we see and feel isn't exactly the same as what is or is not real. Perception is reality, according to some, but he felt that...
All right.
grabbed
Let's
my
put the
shirt.
phenomenology back into the breast pocket.
I love it so much.
Luke, if Luke actually starts doing this, Charlie just grabs his shirt and pulls his ass down and just goes, "Get in the church."
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Dex stealth, please. Composure stealth. Composure stealth is the more appropriate.
Oh, sure. Stealth. I have silent movement. Yay.
I should really take dots in stealth. 0.
Oh no. Please don't be like Luke. No, well, we're like Luke today. I had lots of dice for that.
Oh,
So the door's kind of
use the distraction. Thanks, guys.
the door is unlocked, but it feels like it's barred. So Luke gives a little bit of a huh, and it just ends up it was a sticky warped door, and both of you just kind of tumble in, doing kind of a Kramer walk as you stumble into the sacristy. It looks like a carpeted kitchen almost. There's marble countertop. There is a sink. There's hanging matching cabinetry, and there's a round table. There's a refrigerator. There's it looks like a carpeted kitchen.
Are there
Carpet in
people
the
here?
kitchen?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
The table, there's a like a dining room table in the center of it. There's a rack of vestments that just kind of a freestanding rack, clothing rack with vestments hung upon it on hangers. And from what you can see, there is also a small... Well, actually... Wits awareness. Please.
That means wits.
2.
Oh, hey, 1.
All right. Luke notices on the desk, on one of the counters, there's actually a small, looks like circle of ashes and a bronze brazier of some kind, 3 feet. There's incense wafting out of it. And it right in front of, like, suspended on the backsplash on the other side of it is a mirror. What?
Man, we really did the weird partnership this time. Well, I would give for a body swap right now.
I was like, stealth? I have that. Like,
Have I
mean, so do I.
intelligence occult, I assume?
Yeah, intelligence
Just trying to
occult.
figure out-
Intelligence occult.
Ooh. Let's see how bad they can fail this one. Okay.
I'm gonna spend some bonus dice. Spending 2.
2 of the bonus dice?
Mm-hmm.
That cool with everybody? He really wants to know.
I mean, I'm okay with it, since you asked.
what are you
Thank
rolling
Yeah,
again?
Intelligence occult to find out what the fuck this circle is, this thingy.
So, I got 3.
It's some Tremere shit.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
magic shit.
Yeah.
4?
I got 4.
Charlie's actually like... Oh, wow, that's like some... That's some, like, imagery for, like, smoke and refraction. Oh, maybe it's, like, something to... Like, let you pass through something or make you smoky.
Yeah.
Charlie gets that. Luke's like, this is some fucking Tremere fucking bullshit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hang on, I got a 3. I'm not like, Johnny come lately to all the weird shit.
All right,
But
so
know what, fine,
I was going with
fine.
the Zamitzi, like, immediate to the Tremere.
No, that actually works just fine because my response to Tremere shit is smash.
You start, like, you just knock it over.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck that fucking rituals, stomp.
Like an angry cat, he just walks over and just bats the brazier off the fucking counter. It clatters to the floor. The incense ash bursts into the air. There's the dust, the ash circle that was surrounding the brazier itself just kind of puffs up into the air. Luke grabs the mirror and just smashes it on the counter. And Charlie's like,
Charlie
oh well,
was just-
that was
Charlie was standing there about to go like, oh, you know what? This is kind of like one of those magic tricks where, and then just all that shit happens and the incense like puffs into her face and like all this shit. She's just like, why? Why can't you just? Why?
Tremere shit. Dangerous.
What? No. What? No. It was
Also,
like,
it's a lesser form of magic. Let's go.
it was like an illusion. Oh. Doesn't know.
And I set a fire for
Give
you.
shade.
And I set a fire to make you happy. I take it all
never
back.
say that to your face if that's.
Delia's
I
gonna
care.
be
My idea just got less dumb. I'm so excited.
So you notice that there's another area to... all right, so there's a doorway leading to your right, and there looks like there's a doorway... Like, it looks like there might be an alcove around a corner, because it's like when you're going to a restroom that doesn't have doors. It's just like, it's a space, and then a hallway, and then another open arch. So it looks like it's just an open area that goes into a very tight corridor on the other side. That's perpendicular. Parallel to the room and the wall that it's on.
Can we hear anything?
I will allow you to make a wits awareness test. It's going to be at a -4. If you get successes, the thing you're going to notice is the lack of noise, if anything. So what's awareness,
I got one
please?
success on my bonus die.
Bonus dice aren't against it. If you want to use bonus dice, you have to ask your coterie.
Or not bonus die. What I meant is chance
Chance.
die. I got a single success on my chance die.
Ooh. You got a 10?
Yeah.
Damn.
It rolls over, right?
Nope. You do not re-roll
Okay,
a 10 on a chance die.
But I did get the one success.
God damn. Charlie? 0. Gotcha.
On a chance die, but it wasn't a 1. So I'll take it.
Why can't I hear things? Is what that would have been.
Yeah.
It's you notice that it is incredibly quiet. Like unnervingly quiet. In anywhere but this room.
I pick up my pace.
In what direction? And there's 2 places to go. Do you go west or north?
Looking at Charlie, I go, yes, obviously.
Just gonna grab Luke, turn his ass around, and just shove him in one direction.
The potent Bruja shoves me. I don't put up that much of a fight.
All right, so which direction is Charlie shoving Luke? Into the doorway that leads into another, what it looks like another sacristy room, or through that that opening in the wall that leads to a hallway?
Thinking about my old church, actually, with help with this. The hallway.
Okay. In front of you, you can see soft candlelight coming through another opening in the wall at the end of this little hallway. At the end of a turn. So it you go in, you turn right, and then you go down a little bit, you turn left, and it opens.
Okay, so it's shove, shove, shove. Wait. Smack, smack, smack. Stop. Hang on. Look.
Just peeks around Luke's body.
It's at this point that you're noticing that even if you're whispering, you're hearing nothing. Even within your own throat.
Ooh, that's a wide spell.
She just tries like humming to herself.
Oh no, nothing. Absolute silence. Unnervingly so. Your vocal cords don't even vibrate. Ah, yeah, the universal sign for vampire, you piece of shit.
There's snakes in the church? I thought that's what they were against. I don't understand.
No, the
Snakes
ministry
in
is somewhere
motherfucking
else.
Church.
Okay.
Does not say snake.
So is Charlie going to try and peek around the doorway?
Yeah.
Looking out. Right in front of you is an overturned candelabra that is currently lighting the carpet
That's why you don't do carpet.
where the choir stand is to your left, and to your right is, well, there is a well-dressed, dark-skinned man standing with a cup on the dais in front of an altar, looking down at Sloane and Delia. And Delia, having looked over at the candle to do it, sees Charlie just poke her head out.
Surprise. Just gonna signal to Luke to like.
I come close.
The silent theater.
I feel like there needs to be distressed piano playing right now.
The organ. Someone slides up over into the. It's like an MIT person again, you know.
All those mime classes are paying off, man.
Everybody gets their own instrument for like a reaction, like violin and like a bass.
I think Luke's actually trying to convey thought right now. Oh. Yeah, I also just realized this just landed right in front of Charlie and Luke.
Oh no!
Kindred have issues with fire in general.
No, it all works out perfectly fine, she says. When Luke lights a house on fire.
We had to make rolls. There were rolls involved.
I mean, we did get in trouble
Shit,
for that
he
fire
didn't
too.
hear it fall. Because there's no sound.
Yeah, that's why he didn't turn to look. Nobody turned to look. Everyone's very much intent upon the bishop currently holding mass in pure silence. It's Charlie and Luke that just walked over to like, oh, that fire's getting bigger. Fire's getting bigger.
I didn't know you guys were gonna be there.
So
I
it's
picked away.
what, willpower?
It's current willpower.
Oh, fucking duck. Do I take any particular hits, Connery?
No.
What's,
This is
do-
the beast taking over.
Any negs or anything like that?
It is a small fire, so no negatives are being applied. If it was a bonfire or something like that, or let's say you were trying to run through a doorway that was on fire, there might be a few negatives for that.
Okay. I want to make sure that
Mm,
backstory for me wasn't gonna do anything.
2.
Takes you a moment.
Oh. Ah, boo, that's a 6. Okay. 1.
As long as you get one, it takes you one turn to go. So for a solid like 10 seconds, you have to steel yourself to the current fire in front of you before you're able to get the beast that is currently clawing at your insides to flee at highest speeds and literally break anything in the way under control. But you're able to.
Finally.
In those. Yeah, this is the first frenzy check you haven't failed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good job. The Bruja finally got it under control. Well, you're not dealing
Thank
with your
you,
Bane
Dex.
negative right now because of it's not a friend that's
No
being
one's
insulted or hurt.
It's the one that keeps getting me. Nobody get hurt. Stop it.
I don't have bullet holes
Okay.
this time.
So
You're good.
Sloane doesn't notice the candelabra go over either
Mm-mm.
because Sloane is currently in an eye lock contest with this Bishop Judge from the Battle of New York.
Is he holding out the chalice for me to take?
If you make any motion, like he's currently locked eyes with you, and it seems like he's kind of trying to flex on you to do this, but he's not using mental power. So he's kind of intimidated. It's definitely obvious he's trying to intimidate you into doing what he wants. There's a presence to him.
How if you hold out like a piece of gum to someone and you don't really say anything and you just leave it there, eventually most people will take the piece of gum.
Unless they hate gum.
I'm gonna but he's holding out the chalice in my direction.
Yeah, You were next. Delia openly rejected it. You have yet to actually make a firm choice to him. You've locked eyes with him as part of a distraction. He's thinking... You're giving off the signal of I'm still thinking about it, so he's like, like that's his a little bit obviously with a more serious intonation.
Yeah.
Do we are we able to see behind through the flames, the fire and the flames?
The fire isn't big enough right now to actually fuck with you. The reason why Luke and Charlie had to deal with it is because one, it's right in front of them.
Yes.
And two, it is currently now what would be classified as an uncontrolled blaze. Because candles don't really fuck with vampires, with the kindred, because they're a controlled fire.
Yes.
It's supposed to be there. It's on the candle. Otherwise, the Dark Ages would have been filled with kindred just fleeing from everything.
It would have been a really bad time. I don't think they would have made it.
Yeah.
My question was, is through the fire and flames, do I see Charlie and Luke?
Yes, you already saw them.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I was double checking.
I said you saw Charlie poke her head out.
That's right.
And you see both Charlie and Luke now, like two parts of the Three Stooges in like a head lineup,
the totem,
looking around the corner, and both of them staring at the fire, just stealing themselves.
Fire bad. Okay. I'm gonna, in the middle of the eye lock, just kind of smile in a way that like has an edge to it. And then I'm just gonna slowly reach out and take the chalice from him.
Okay.
Do I know if this is blood that Delia would want?
Generally speaking, that's a really silly question, because if she'll take a lot of things home with her. That's why we have vials in her purse along with rubber gloves, etc. Always. Pigeons? I'll take it. Who knows? I actually have a bird in my purse right now. I'm not joking. There's some feathers right here.
What is Sloane doing with so he relents?
I'm gonna kind of like
the chalice.
I'm gonna elbow Delia and like kind of hold it for her to hold out as I like hold it out for her to like hold for me.
Oh.
Awkward thing.
And I'm gonna do something really stupid.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Fuck. Oh, do I want to do it?
You gotta make the choice very imminently.
Yeah.
Either say fuck it and go for it, or hold off and do something different.
Dula's already like going to ruffle in her purse, awkwardly holding this like.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my first instinct, and this might be really, really bad.
Go for it.
Oh my god.
As I start to do it, I'm kind of like I want to catch him off guard. And then in like a split second, I'm actually going to try to dash past him for the cane.
Oh.
Told you it was dumb.
Okay.
You bought me time.
As soon as you do that,
Yeah.
that's going to initiate initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 2 steps, and initiative is starting.
Okay.
As this coterie needs to figure out a way to deal with like situations in buildings without starting fires. I'm just gonna put this down here because like I'm gonna have to start researching like fire patterns and spread from my local fire department to start really being able to provide the appropriate responses to what you're doing.
Luke did it, and Luke did it.
All right, so I need initiatives from everybody.
Since when have I been presented as a role model of any kind?
No, you're a scapegoat.
Wait, are we talking
Different.
about Luke or
Oh.
Zed?
Either one, really.
Yes.
You're a teacher!
Okay, that's the best initiative I've rolled on this channel so far.
So it's your dex and
Dex and composure
Yeah, okay,
added
cool.
together,
Cool.
and then you add a d10 to that.
Okay.
So,
Oh, what'd you do? You frenzy squirrel.
all right.
I keep
Anybody
rolling 10s for initiative.
anybody near 20?
I have 16
Okay.
again.
Who wants to initiative czar this?
I'll do it.
Okay.
You got it?
What do we got? So is 16 the top?
No,
Oh.
18 is for the
Okay.
bishop.
Oh, I rolled a 10. I tried.
I have a total of 10.
Anybody between 15 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay,
14.
what are Sloane and Luke?
Sloan
14?
is 14, I'm 11.
Okay, so there are a pair of 12s in between that as well. So 14 for Sloane, then
I'm sorry, everyone.
2 12s
I
for
really liked having you in the coterie.
congregants.
Oh.
And then Luke on an 11.
And Delia on the bottom.
There's 2 more after that for
Whoa.
congregants as well, though.
Oh no. Are they above 10?
No.
Okay.
One's
Oh
on.
my
Well, one is a
fucking
10.
Christ.
What's your full dex?
6.
The dex composure added together.
Yeah.
Okay, you beat theirs, so then it is.
I'm a sandwich.
Then a 10. So it goes Luke, Delia, and then there's a 10 slot and a 9 slot.
Okay.
I had some pretty abysmal rolls there. But having a plus 11 to your initiative is something that is beneficial when you are a bishop.
Jesus.
So Sloane gets 4 steps. And Delia sees Sloane start running. And the bishop's there. And then the bishop's behind the altar, literally waiting for Sloane to get there. Just shaking his head.
No, no.
On your on an initiative,
Damn
you
it,
can do the
everybody.
thing. He then, in a flash of motion, glides forward. It's like his feet don't even move.
How dare.
And his arm makes contact, his palm makes contact with your chest. Before it, like it's almost like his arm extended further than it should. He moved so fast. As it just goes out to slam into your chest. So what is Sloane's defense?
6.
6?
At least you got a good defense. That's good. That's good.
This is in character for Sloan. I'm sorry, guys.
Sloane's dealt with, Sabat like this before.
On par with Grigori. We got a
Ooh.
50-50 shot. Let's go for it.
I got 1.
Okay.
So you're going to take 2. This is bashing damage.
Okay.
As he palm strikes your chest and sends you back about 2 steps as a warning.
Okay. Hold on, let's see.
And- The reason why it looked like his arm extended, because he moved back into where he was standing behind the altar next to his cane in that split second.
Okay.
Next. activation.
Where's my sheet?
So I think it's a U activation now.
Yes.
The
Yep.
coterie can
Yes.
activate. Who wants to activate from the coterie?
Is it still silent?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to go.
I don't even know you're there yet, so that might be nice.
Happy birthday! Yay!
Yeah, I got no. I don't know what to do yet. So you
If
go
I know
right
what Luke
ahead.
is going to do, it's going to take time.
Well, I can move while I sprout.
Oh, okay.
I hate that phrase. Congratulations. It's very on theme though.
So are you allowing him
so-
to activate?
I'm down.
Okay, Luke
Alright.
has right of way.
Okay. So I spend for feral weaponry. I am slightly thirstier than I was before. And then I'm running at the bishop. I'm sort of Naruto running because I'm keeping my arms back while they, do what
their
they're
thing.
doing.
Excellent.
And I am screaming, even though no one can hear me. But I am screaming sort of silently. Here, hang on. Let's see if this translates.
Nope.
And that
didn't
would
get that at
be,
all.
yeah, that would be monomacy that I'm shouting at him as I'm running towards him.
Cutting
Thought it
deep
was
now.
for the Zamitzi.
No,
I thought he was screaming Phenomena.
Do 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 do.
It's probably smart to Naruto run when you have giant things sticking out of your hands.
All right. So this is the forearm blades that are coming out, right?
Yeah.
Bone spurs that are about yay long coming out of his forearm.
Mm-hmm.
You will be close enough next turn to attack. You're essentially in melee range now, though. Like one good lunge and you would hit him. It's just that you had to use your action to grow your claws. Okay. What's next on the roster?
I feel like those in imminent danger could totally grab it.
Yeah. I guess I will go.
Please do.
And my reaction is actually the same as Luke's. Because that's my shit. and I just started a fight.
We've seen this happen before.
This again. All right, fine. And I will use my feral weapons, which extend like long talons from my fingers. I don't remember what a rouse check is.
Rouse check is a D10, and it's if you roll a 6 or higher,
Okay.
you do not get hungry. If you roll a 5 or lower, you get hungry.
I was
All
doing a dumb and only doing it on.
The success rate?
Yeah.
6. Whew. Okay.
You're
I couldn't
also
remember what I
using a... Oh, no, wait. Feral weaponry is level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can't re-roll that one. Sorry.
Okay.
You're at a blood... Everyone's at a blood potency where you can re-roll level 1 powers.
Okay.
I'm just giving you that heads up. But... So what are Sloane's claws? Are they the classic, like... bones
They're-
coming out of the ends of your fingers kinds of claws?
They are, but they're kind of curved, and they almost look like if you've ever seen like a tiger or any large cat. It kind of they're curved a little bit like a large cat's claws.
Okay. They've got some hook on them.
Yeah.
All right.
And I assume I'm basically close enough that in a turn I could close the distance.
You're in melee range. He pushed you. The 2 steps that you fell back didn't put you out of engagement, essentially. You're still in a tussle with him. It's just that was narrative flavor of like he hit you hard enough that he even made you, Sloane, person who takes hits on the reg, to go step.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a feeling it was from pure impact from speed.
That's fine.
Next, activation.
Charlie,
Ah.
if you need another turn, it's fine.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do, to be perfectly honest. Like, Dara's just like, what the fuck?
I will stall
But
for
hands up real
time.
quick.
Scoop!
Yeah, if you're okay with that.
Need this.
Okay, so Delia's going to take out a specimen vial, which I know Delia is very known for having, and is gonna scoop up some judge blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume that is the limit of what I can do for the moment.
You could move as well if you wished.
She will try and back away because there's all the congregants behind us. Yeah.
Mhm.
So a wall where there's. She's like, oh no, and is trying to fill this little thing while like.
As she's getting up and running, she can see the figures in the pews standing up, and specifically there is a flash of brushed steel being worked in one of their hands. Next activation.
Is that us or is that them?
You're the one, you wrote down the initiatives are, so I need to know who goes next.
That's 3. That's the two 12s, so that's 2 on the congregants.
All right. 2 of them stand up and hold out what looks like pistols, but with extremely long magazines sticking out the bottom of the clip. They flip the tiniest little forward grip down from the front of this thing, hold onto it. It's the most adorable little fucking gun. It's a Barrett type. I'm very no.
Machine pistols are real.
Yeah, it's a machine. It's a machine pistol, but I'm trying to think of the actual fucking type. But it's not an Uzi or a Tech 9. Those are bigger. This is a 9mm little fucking gun, and it's got a little flip down forward grip. And they unload.
Like a Glock 13.
A Glock, yes,
it's
it's a Glock 13. It's a Glock 13 with a forward flipping handguard. As it just flips forward and starts, it would shatter, but there's only flashes of light as they start unloading rounds in Delia's direction as she runs.
Well, here comes my frenzy.
Delia's defense, though.
It's the lowest of your wits and yeah.
So you're no. Your defense isn't going to be applied. You do have cover though, because you're running right now.
Right.
So you are counted as a moving target. It is harder to hit you. They are not trying to hit Charlie, but bullets are going to rain in Charlie's direction as well.
Neat.
We will see if Delia gets hit at all.
I'm sorry for your oncoming frenzy that you will assuredly be having. I've even grabbed my health tracker in preparation.
Oh no.
Commit murder in front of the Lord. You'll be fine.
Gotta start up our Charlie. Hold on. I'll take a few hits so that you could get your whole
that's gonna be 5 bashing damage from 1.
Do touchstones help me not want to curl into a hole?
Wait, 5 bashing, so that's the strike. That's my entire tracker, by the by.
Yeah, once it gets to the end.
Yeah.
You're now considered impaired though. You have a -1 to all actions. Now, any bashing you take is going to start filling in as slash as X's for lethal.
You can make me do this thing.
For aggravated now, because it's literally just bashing or aggravated.
Everything I own is riddled with holes.
Aggravated. That pigeon. Oh no.
The second one just. I rolled some like ridiculous 10s before, and it just kept going. So that's why I got up to 5.
You got fucking McCree in here. Thanks.
Not really. He just he sprayed. Both of them do. And a silent rain of bullets just hail around, and there are red tufts of aerosolized blood just spattering into the air, vitae wasted into the air, as Delia runs past and gets to basically a pillar. Charlie sees this. So Charlie needs to Bruja Frenzy check.
Oh, cool, it is an episode. Cool, the game started.
You apply a Bane severity penalty of 2 to this test. Make a willpower test, please.
Of 2?
Penalty is 2. It's the Bruja Bane severity.
Yeah. I'm just double checking because all the willpower I have left is 2.
You have a chance die.
So I have a chance die on a frenzy. Hooray!
You can use bonus dice. You can use bonus dice.
Really?
If you want to maintain control, I'll allow that.
Oh, do I want to lose my shit at church?
This is... I almost
Take
feel like I
chances,
should...
make mistakes. Nope, I rolled a 2. Let's go.
Oh no. So Charlie sees Charlie's friend get shot.
A lot. Yep.
And Charlie's gonna Bruja now.
Foaming at the mouth.
So the next activation is Charlie. Because everybody else went.
Yep.
So the way this works is you have to attack the source of your ire.
Yep. Let's go. So, Charlie, between rapid reflexes and soaring leap, can get there real fucking fast, I assume.
You can land on top of a motherfucker if you wanted to with soaring leap.
If I could soaring leap pounce this person, I would like to do that.
So there was 2 of them. You're gonna hit 1.
Rushing out. Yep, that's fine.
I will allow you to immediately make a Dex brawl attack. Do you have any specialties in brawl?
No.
Okay.
I do not.
Surprising.
You guys
put
gotta
stuff in
start spending
athletics,
some.
not-
Well, I'm gonna talk to you guys about spending XP at the end of this here call.
Yeah, I've been trying to do it and keep forgetting how. So...
There's a menu. I'll guide you through it. 1.
Yes, please. I got 1. 1 success.
There is a riot of color that streaks through the sky like a pastel blur. Silently.
I would be screaming, but no.
Oh yeah, no. The frenzy roar is there. It's just kind of hitting nothing right now.
Dun da da da! It's Super Charlie!
Thing is, Charlie lands and essentially has both hands forward to throttle and feet forward to stomp.
Like an angry cat.
Both feet
Shake,
land
bro.
on either side of the the target. As your hand smashes into... I just realized something. You only took 3.
Oh, because of having it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was already halved, and that's why I was
I didn't
really
have it for
scared.
you. I just realized that
Okay.
was...
So
Yeah,
I took 3.
you took 3.
I
I just realized
fix
that is the
that.
thing.
Thank you.
Charlie ends up throttling them, and the reason why they take damage is because of the force of the landing. You slam them back into the pew.
Oh.
I'm gonna have them roll something quick.
Oh. Oh.
The gun does not go clattering to the ground, because that was a big impact. And then
Okay.
they take a Demahes.
Mm.
Next activation.
That would be the last 2 are yours.
Another 2 stand up.
I'm gonna get shot. Here we go.
And rush. Pardon. This. Sorry, opening up a notes pad here so I can keep proper track. You know, things that storytellers should do before the combat starts. Open up a
Dave kind of
notepad
sprung
here.
it on you.
Do.
Surprise! Fighting in a church. It's fine. I would say it sounds like they're having some very lively late night bingo in there, but you can't hear shit.
Bingo.
S22. S22. That's squirrel. 22.
I just hear Ratatasker all the time. You're forever Ratatasker in my head.
Pick it up. There are more flashes of metal in the candle light. One of them charges forward and tries to stab Charlie
No, no.
with a rather large, it's called a butterfly sword.
Oh.
It looks like a
No.
cleaver
Oh.
with an upturned handle. It's usually done in pairs. This guy has one. It's like a cleaver that comes to a point, and it's about yay big.
Oh.
Those are illegal in New York, by the by. Someone called the
Do you
cops
have
on
a
this
permit
man.
for that?
If you want to look up, I want to double check and make sure. Yeah, if you want to look up butterfly sword in Google to take a look at what that is, you can go ahead and do that.
Oh, I wish I grabbed the bear mace. No.
Hey, at least the sleeping person is in the is in the mausoleum with
Yeah.
water rather than
And
the-
we didn't light it on fire.
Yeah.
Yay.
So they rushed forward with a butterfly sword. What is Charlie's defense?
6.
6.
6.
That is going to be 2. Now, hold on. Let me double check here. I need to double check this ruling for... because it's a blade. You know, bullets don't do aggravated, but I need to see if blades do... I think it's only fire and the claws and teeth of supernatural enemies or specifically stated causes aggravated damage.
Generally.
Sources. But this doesn't get halved. So you're going to take 2 damage. 2 bashing. As the pastel dress that you're currently wearing has a pair of deep slashes in them. And rents in your skin are opened. The next
Insert pain
activation...
noises you can't hear.
No one can hear this. As another one gets up and starts rushing the dais. Looks like they're going to run up behind Sloane. But there is no sound or their distance is a little too far off for them to make it. They're moving fast, though. And now we're at the top of the turn order. First
Bishop.
activation.
Bishop.
Right.
He's top.
Almost casually
I don't.
reaching over to everyone else.
The
This
energy
is
at the top.
this is a blur. He casually reaches over, picks up his cane,
Fuck.
turns and sees Luke rushing up behind him. Takes 3 casual steps. Puts his hand to Luke's face, like putting his middle finger just on the bridge of Luke's nose, and then collapses his fist in.
At least you didn't get Alucarded.
Ooh. Ooh.
What is Luke's defense? Not 1, I know that.
Tis 3, sir.
3.
Oh, I feel better now.
Luke blocks with his face.
Yes.
3?
Well, yeah, I'm not in horrid form. It goes up significantly when I get to, be in my beast mode, but
Remember, it's
I'm not there yet.
Dex or wits, whichever is lower, plus your athletics.
Yeah. So I don't have... Sorry, I have 1 in athletics, and my dex is a 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
All of those things for me are 3.
Yeah. But I have a 9 die pool to hit someone. I
Me
made
too.
sacrifices.
I also do.
I can't do any of that. Nope. Nor so are we.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a face. He's making a
I
face. He's doing the
wanna
face again.
apologize, But I also feel like I may have just beaten Luke to the punch instead. Oh god. I'm never the murder hobo, guys. I'm sorry.
So.
6.
Okay.
I rolled on 6 dice. I got some 10s there. 6 bashing. As he 1-inch punch with celerity. Luke's stride is broken for a moment.
Sure. Although the thing I was trying to get to got to me, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. As he still has it coached underneath his side, like almost like a tap dancer would a cane while doing a performance. It's under his left armpit, silver flashing in the candlelight.
It's so cool.
He's Michigan J Frog.
Next activation.
It's us, guys.
Can I slice him? I want to slice him.
He did
That's
come
awesome.
to you.
Yeah.
Is anybody
Yeah.
else going to
Yeah, I'd
want to
say
activate?
Go for it.
I say go for it.
Thanks. So yeah, so he
Riley
came
just
and
wants to
punched
see
me in
what's
the
going to
Mm-hmm.
happen.
He came and punched me in the nose, and so I'm gonna hug him with
He-
my sword arms.
Booped your snoot.
Yeah. So, just Luke just comes, and I'm just gonna try to scissor chop.
Okay. Assemble your die pool.
Mm-hmm. What's his defense?
I have to double check
Oh no.
an ability. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, cool.
Cool. Somehow I feel like it's not cool for us, guys. We might have a different opinion.
He has a defense of 8.
Okay. So I'm gonna spend for blood and If I spend for willpower, do I also get 3 bonus dice? Is that still a thing or no?
So you can re-roll 3 afterwards, right?
You can either
That's
add
right.
3 or re-roll 3.
Yeah.
Let me. I can double
you know
check
what?
it though, but roll to
I'll
see if
save
you
the-
rouse blood first.
Yeah. Okay. I am not hungrier.
So you add an extra 2 dice to this pool now.
Yep.
Let me double check willpower expenditure though.
Also, do we mind if I spend a couple of bonus dice from our pool?
We're doing a murder. You want to do a murder?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do a murder?
Yeah.
You
I
want to
wanna do a little
desecrate the
murder.
church a little more? More than it already
Maybe.
has been?
Maybe a little, yeah, it'd make me feel better.
Yeah.
The church is already on fire.
I mean, these places are terribly unsafe. This is a historical monument, and they have live flames. I mean, a stiff breeze could have knocked that over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need a stiff
Reroll up
drink
to
after
3
this.
dice. Typically, perform minute movements. Oh, you wow, in V5 you're not allowed to use willpower to add dice. It's used to re-roll up to 3 dice.
Okay, that's fine. I'll wait on the willpower.
Okay.
Okay, so I have already subtracted the 8. Let's see if I get him.
Oh, it's so many.
Okay. Got. Okay. I'm gonna spend a willpower and re-roll 3. Okay.
5.
Ooh! Oh shit!
I spent everything I can spend to do that, but
What is
fuck.
what is the spending blood? I've
So
only
you
been-
can spend a bit of blood to like pump yourself up. It's a thing that vampires can do. And I think we all have the
Yeah.
blood potency to get 2 extra dice off of that. I think.
If you are at potency level 2, you add 2 when you do a blood surge.
It's called blood surging. So what you do, you rouse blood, and then any physical, any attribute action you take, you add 2 dice to. Basically anything you do, you add 2 dice.
It's been a while since I got into a fight in this game.
You can blood surge and super smart yourself. If you really want to.
I've done that.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I did it too.
The
Yeah,
blades.
So Oh, sorry.
I was about to say. The blades come in, and as Luke is going to throw his blades in like a scissor, he takes 1 step back, rolls that cane forward in front of him, and catches it right at the middle of the scissor. But Luke's able to push forward enough that the blades, and pushing forward and angling them correctly, he's able to cut in at the waist. You actually cut through his finely tailored jacket and through his beautiful royal purple dress shirt with the silver tie, and a pair of deep cuts form on his sides. And you're fairly sure you would have heard a wince and a if sound could be heard in this church right now. Next activation.
It's you guys.
Sloan or Charlie?
Do you want to
Why
back up?
don't you
Luke,
why
man?
don't you go first, because you have
Oh.
people to deal with. He's already gone, so I can wait a little bit.
Okay. Then I will continue taking my rage out on this motherfucker who dared shoot my auntie.
You're the best coterie.
It's like when Charlie curses a lot, but no one can hear it right now.
Yeah, you could say anything, you'll never get in trouble.
Remember, you can blood surge as
Just
well.
like-
Just to
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
okay. Roll a rouse check.
Wee flower dice. Oh, the flower dice has betrayed me again. You
Get hung-
guys got
flower-
me this dice that likes to fuck with me a lot.
It's because the flowers
Yeah,
are angry. They've gathered the resonance. Stop putting them by the werewolves.
So you've
The
gone
one in my-
beyond blaming the dice to now blaming us for the dice.
No, it's Chad who
Well,
bought
this
these
was
dice.
the dice
Yeah.
that. Yeah, chat bought me the dice that I just used.
Just saying. Just saying.
Microwave it.
Thinking maybe the problem is you. You should try wearing gloves to roll dice from now on.
I do it. I roll fine.
All right, you still get this benefit. You're just hungrier for the
Yep.
for the trouble.
Yep. So basically, if I'm just, am I like just like basically sitting on this person, just like with my feet implanted like on either side of them now?
You're standing over them on the pew, and they are seated in between your legs. Their back smashed into the pew. The historic bench cracked a little bit in the process.
History.
Oh, how do I want to?
You're-
Was that history? No? Is that
Yeah.
what that was?
The New York Historical Society is going to be very upset. It's an antique!
Then I would want to kind of like lean back a little bit and pick up one leg and just go right for the skull. Just try to hit him like right in the face to bend him.
That a girl.
Okay. Dex Brawl -3 for defense.
Dex Brawl -3.
And also remember to add your blood surge dice. So that's an extra 2.
You know, split him like he's a wishbone. It's fine. That's not
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
Nice.
there. I want to hear that non-crack that's gonna happen.
It's not going to be very satisfying. You're just going to be left wanting.
Oh.
1 success?
I got one, yes.
There would be another crack as Charlie's boot connects with this guy's face, but not solid enough to really cause the damage itself. But in him trying to move his head out of the way, he actually slams his head on the pew behind him, really ringing his bell as he sits there more dazed. Next activation.
Yeah, so it's Bishop, then we have Charlie Sloan before the 2 congregants.
All right, 2 congregants activate. The one that is currently sitting down is going to activate, and the one that's currently attacking Charlie is also going to activate. So one with a knife, one with a gun. Charlie gets, you do benefit. If somebody tries to fire a gun at you in melee, you get to use your defense still against it. But Charlie also has fast reflexes, so it's negligible regardless. What's Charlie's defense? A 6, right?
6.
Ugh.
Actually,
She fast.
because your blood's surging, you applied it to Dex.
It's more.
It's actually an 8 this turn.
Neat. Hey, I like the guy with the stick. Woo.
And a chance die does not provide me any successes. So he after getting his head rung, he points the gun up, and Charlie's able to just smack into his wrist, and bullets just arc through the roof and the aged wood of New Amsterdam as it peppers into the historic building that you are fighting in right now.
Why would... They had no respect!
We didn't start the fire.
That was
We
self-preservation.
didn't
They
start
brought
the
guns
fire.
here.
But you did!
Delia did, but we
You
didn't.
can't prove that anything happened. If a candle falls in a church and doesn't make a sound, like
I didn't touch anything! Oh no!
All right.
Yay! It's never me. It was me for once. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so your two buddies.
So the guy with the knife is gonna try and stab Charlie, who is currently on a defensive 8. God, nobody can touch Charlie.
Good, they shouldn't.
I'm like a
Yeah,
cracked
please
out
don't.
squirrel right now. Cracked out
He
anger
gets
squirrel.
a stab in.
Woo!
Top of his
Oh,
class.
I'm gonna get so much more
Delim
than that.
This guy later.
This butterfly knife with the big brass knuckle on it rakes in and tears another piece of Charlie's sundress and staining it red further.
I cannot wait to
I'm
respond
gonna
to
owe
this.
Charlie a sundress.
How much do I take?
One dash.
Okay. Neat. Hmm.
Next
Speaking of which, you can do
activation.
that.
We have 2.
So Sloane and Delia go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to
I think it's time to start 1-2 punching this guy. I'm going to blood surge. So let's see if that 7.
Defense, in theory, should be 7 now?
No, my defense is 6.
No, of him.
Oh, his defense is 7, yes. So I'm going to add that, it would be strength brawl for me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna tack that on there. I guess strength doesn't really matter. Strength and brawl are both 4. So, that's not a pool of 9 plus 2. So that's 11. And then his thing is 7. Do I have anything else? Is there any way I can kill you in this dude? I don't think I can. I don't have anything fancy like that. Alright, let's just go for it. So he has 7. So 4. Okay. I don't know if I want to ask for bonus dice for this.
Yes, you do. And I say it's cool.
Is anybody else okay with me using 2 for this?
Go for it.
Because I think the sooner we take this guy out, the better things are.
Well, we
I
can
would
communicate
assume
for
that,
one, which will be nice.
Mm-hmm.
yes. Oh, yes. I'd love for you all to hear the cursing and screaming going on.
Also, he's a
In the back-
bishop, so we'll definitely get to have the entire Sabbat hating us, which is fine.
Okay, and then I'm gonna...
It's great.
That was 3. I'm gonna re-roll 3.
Oh, willpower. Oh no.
Ow,
Mhm.
Ouch.
Oh! So that's 5 plus 2, so 7. Because I have feral weapons, as I basically, like, charge at this guy and just, like, 2 quick swipes with my claws.
I totally forgot about the extra dice from feral weapons. Holy shit.
So you also did 7?
You don't get extra dice.
Yeah.
You get 2 damage added to your total when you
Yeah.
roll.
well,
So I
that
did-
then. So I did not remember about the 2 extra whatever.
Yes. So I did 5 successes plus 2 damage.
That's how it works.
Which
Yes.
Which is what I had also.
His back arches as you rush forward and put a giant cut through his back, as his tension was currently on holding Luke's scissor blade attack at bay. There's a moment before we move on to the next activation. Who's up? By the way, his
Yeah.
jacket is a mess.
Aw. Man, Vampire is just a sin against fashion, mostly because of the brutality.
You all
against
want to
the
look
wardrobe.
so nice,
We
but then you
do.
get into the worst fights ever.
We do.
Making fun of my jackets. Now it's not such a big deal. This, like, ripstop material.
It's like, I'll get this book in Salvation Army again. No, don't shop there. They're terrible. But you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Where do you think this hole came from?
Dilly kind of peers from behind the pillar. How's the bishop look?
He's not looking very happy. He looks like a disappointed parent who's currently losing his basketball game against their kid.
Oh my god.
That was so specific. I loved it.
But you saw it!
Oh my god.
That's-
My dad totally looked at me like that once.
Oh no!
I had a really lucky day, apparently, that day. But anyway.
I can throw things and lift things and can I hold something?
You can attempt to hold something. Are you going to attempt to hold person?
Can I attempt to like push to the prone to the ground?
You could hold an item against somebody.
Says I can up to 220 pounds.
If you did 220 pounds,
Yes.
that is the weight of a person. He would be able to resist it, though. That's the thing. So you would get
Smack him with a pew.
you would get a dice pool negative equal to his resolve.
He has a weapon. Stick.
I have a dice pool of almost 10. You know what? You guys probably have it. You're fine. Charlie, no! And she's gonna just grab one of the other dudes and try and yeet one of the... throw them towards the fire. She's going to try
and throw one of the congregants into the fire.
Yes. Into the fiery flames.
That's
Instead
a
of helping
sentence.
Luke and I, you'll help Charlie. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, she like looks in from like the one side of the pillar and is like... Yeah. And then she looks over to the other side of the pillar. Blood surge. I'm hungry. Dupe. But I'm gonna do a yeet.
Yeet.
Only 4. Can I yeet with a 4?
With a... Well, you tried to yeet a person?
Yes.
Damn it, you started rolling it before,
Oh, I could redo it. It's fine.
Yeah, there's negatives to
Yes,
it. It's
okay,
his
hold on.
resolve. It's a negative 2.
-2? Okay. I'm gonna get rid of my scarabs because they're not as well behaving. Three.
Okay.
Yeet.
It looks like you're able to get them almost halfway there. This is the one that was stabbing you're trying to throw. You can't throw the one that she's straddling, so. So as the knife recoils, Delia's hand throws, and he leaves the floor. His legs clip the top of the pew, and he cartwheels from the force of the throw and lands sideways on the stairs of the dais, doing 3
Ragdoll
damage in the
physics.
process from the impact. But you basically just cartwheel chucked this guy like a poor... Not a poor stormtrooper. They're stormtroopers. They're fascists. But a stormtrooper in Force...
I love that.
In Force Unleashed.
Also, when you blood surge, remind me again, can I heal or is that separate?
You can heal once every turn.
Okay. I would like to do so.
Blood surge and healing are 2 different things.
Okay, so I can do both.
Yes, but you do have a blood... I think there's a rouse check limit per turn. Or there used to be a blood spend per turn.
That'd be good to know because
Limit.
as Tremere, we are very
I know. Well, check your
the blood potency sheet.
the blood potency sheet. See if there's a limit to the number of times you can use
There's nothing listed here for
Then I'm
limits.
not gonna apply one. Keep rolling until
Okay. Then I will heal 2
until
superficial.
the tank is empty.
Thank you. Boop.
Is that a Tremere thing or an everybody can do this thing because we have the
Everybody
healing?
can heal.
Blood healing, everyone can do.
Ooh.
Tremere are just sneaky bastards because they can artificially thicken their blood and make themselves as powerful as somebody far older and far more powerful for very short periods of time.
You can't prove anything. Can you analyze any of that? No.
Make your blood all jammy. Thicken it up. Jam. Gross. Now I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so we have 2 congregants. I don't take my negatives anymore, right?
From...
I was the -1 to all actions before.
You're not impaired because it didn't fill your track.
Alright. Well, that's fine.
When do we get... never mind. I want to know if Delia has investigated the effects of blood thinners on vampires.
Just ask the nerd to start talking when you know it's silent and you can't hear any of it.
Yeah.
Just holds up a whiteboard with a question on it.
Hey, by the way,
Whiteboards.
written in big.
We know what happens with whiteboards with this group. We are not doing. Someone's gonna get
Weapons.
smashed in the face.
They are weapons. Okay.
Weapons with a
So now 2 more. So one with the butterfly knife, one with guns. A butterfly sword. So this butterfly sword, this 3-piece hunk of steel that's been sharpened, being wielded by this running congregant, coming up to stab Sloane.
Okay.
Sloane's defense.
6.
It's the first time Sloane's being attacked this round. Ha-ha! 2 damage, because I rolled a 10 on a chance die.
Oh shit.
Where did your child run to?
Where'd my die go?
I heard it.
So is that 1 then?
No, knives, this type of a blade doesn't get halved. Where the fuck
And
did
then,
it go?
Yeah, toughness only works on superficial, so...
To go to the other side?
That's happened before.
It's entered the twilight.
It's in the void.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's okay, I'll sniff it out
Alternate
later.
universe.
What kind of damage is this?
I have enough d10s. It's just going to annoy the piss out of me. For all I know, it went forward too, or it's underneath something. Whatever.
Did I summon it to me?
What
Okay,
kind of
next
damage is this?
activation
That's
is
top the round.
No, one more
Oh,
has
that's
to
right.
activate.
Shit.
The guy.
What kind of damage did I take?
Oh, you took. It's 2 bashing.
Okay.
Unless it is fire or the fang or claw of a supernatural being.
Okay.
Or some kind of supernatural effect, it's
Okay.
bashing.
Okay.
Because your bodies don't work by normal rules. One of the the congregant with the gun, the other gun, starts running for the door. He's gonna make it to the baptismal font.
Good lad.
All right, next activation.
Now it's Bishop.
Now it's the bishop's turn. The bishop thrusts forward. He puts his hand onto the bottom of the cane and pushes forward, shoving Luke back. There's a breath of a moment before he's not there anymore. He's at the altar picking up and putting the lid on the container of petals. And then he's at the back of the towards the tabernacle, running into the sacristy.
See, I was really
Do you
hoping
have
that
issues
he
getting
would...
past the fire?
There's 2 entrances to the sacristy, one on each side of the altar.
Okay.
I was really hoping that he would run into the wall, not realizing his ritual had been ended.
Once
my
he
God.
deactivated the ritual, he can't do it anymore. That's part of the thing.
Motherfucker's real lucky he's not doing the version where when you shatter the mirror, you also die.
That's if it's still active. Active.
Mm.
I know what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I know you looked at Incorporeal Passage.
Who wouldn't? I have an entire chantry of books. How did I not look at it? So who's the fastest?
From Luke and I right now.
Hmm?
The angriest one.
You saw him zip into, like, he was a blur of motion. I don't know if anybody saw the Snyderverse or the Justice League 2017, the way Flash moved in almost...
Oh my god.
There was just a blur of motion where you can see the remnants of where he was. And you saw him go in the direction of the sacristy. That was it. He has warp, I believe is the actual celerity ability.
So we can't see him anymore.
Blink. He has blink.
I want that. I'm gonna make a note.
So, Conray, I understand what you said, but your argument is invalid because I have a cat. So...
You do have a cat.
It's shown us
Cat-
its butthole.
Yeah, Catbutt says we should be able to go punch him more.
Flawless.
I hate that you guys are so far from me. Yeah, I guess you guys would probably be, one of you would be the fastest, and we have the initiative right after.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can
Charlie's
still
the
see him.
fastest.
But Charlie's
But
frenzying.
Charlie is
Charlie's frenzying and
angry
trying to...
at this guy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
probably just as fast as Charlie is.
Probably. I think we're actually on par.
Charlie's celerity is mostly in reflexes and recovery stuff, not actual, like, going fast like Sonic.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Mine's
it's
all in how
balance and-
fast can my muscles actually carry me, because that's where all my points are.
All right. So, next
But we
activation.
can see him. That's what I'm asking.
You see a trail of, you know where he went. He went through the opposite entrance to the sacristy to your left. So if you're looking at the tabernacle and the wall where the 2 entrances to the sacristy are, he went through the left one, whereas Luke and Charlie and the fire happened out of the right one.
Okay.
Go get him.
Yeah, I'll go after him.
Okay. What's Sloane's speed? I'll take a Dex Athletics test as well to see how.
What is? How do you calculate speed?
Strength plus Dex plus your size, so 5.
Strength is 4 plus Dex or plus. It doesn't matter. They're the same. So 7. Plus 5. So.
12.
Brain. 12.
12.
Yeah. Speed's 12.
Okay. And then you want a Dex athletic test anyway?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Speed is strength plus Dex plus 5.
1, 2, 3,
Mine's 11.
4.
Same. Mine is also 11.
4. All right.
Yeah.
Because you're using your action to run at full speed, so you're increasing your speed as your action.
Mm-hmm.
Sloane books into the sacristy just in time to see the door swinging closed in the back of the sacristy. So you're standing back there. You're standing in the other side, so there's a lot of like ceremonial storage. So there's like sensors, there's like crosses on sticks, there's like banners and this stupid dove on a circle logo stuff that you see during Easter. That kind of shit's in storage. You can definitely see that they're getting their Christmas stuff out though. It's currently out and about.
It's not even Thanksgiving.
But off to the side, you can see the door closing as it's literally been swung open and it's just closing now as you get back there.
Okay.
Next activation. The fire is now reached the chairs and the pillar near the coral pit.
Oh my god.
It's big.
So it's on the carpet though, right?
It's on carpet, chairs are on fire, and it's near the wooden pillars. The
Also, I
wooden
was supposed to
support.
put that out sooner. Fire just gets away with you. You know? I was gonna roll up the carpet like a sandwich. Can't do
Delia
that.
should check her phone.
Like a sandwich.
Doo-ba-doo-doo. Hold on, everyone. She pulls out her phone behind the pillar.
Mid-combat text messaging.
Well, what if it's Curtis?
But into the next, so what was Delia intending to do, or you want to leave another... You can get to that after the whole ruckus. Who's activating now?
It's not a message from you, it's the message from the other person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be heading just towards the bishop. So, I mean, it could be me, it could be Charlie, it could be Delia. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so Charlie's going to try and bash more face in. Delia's the only one that has, like, undeclared options.
I have to concentrate this guy until they're down, right?
Until he's either dead
Damn.
or you can get control of yourself.
Shit. I wanted to do the fancy chancla throw at this guy and throw a fucking book at him while he was running out.
Just literally grab one of the hymnals and...
It's just like while she's just go. Just
Throwing things is a lot of fun. As an adult, it's just really satisfying.
Listen, it's the most use one of those hymnals is ever going to get.
just like a you don't get to go anywhere. Boom.
What are you doing? Smashy, smashy. Or not.
Is Delia activating, Luke activating, or Charlie activating?
Somebody else activate. You guys are more
okay, I'm
imminently.
going to go just because everyone's... I'm just going to go. So I'm going to follow the bishop.
Okay.
No, I was buying Delia time to think.
And read.
Luke bolts Dex Athletics if you want to increase your speed using your action. Basically a run action, and we see how well you can coordinate your ass to keep it going.
Gonna rouse again. I remain unhungry.
Oh.
I can use a snack.
So you're increasing your strength or your dex?
Dex to go faster.
So your base speed goes up by another 2, and you add 2 dice to
sweet.
any action.
Well, then my base speed goes up to 13.
Uh-huh.
4 successes.
Okay. Sloane gets into the sacristy. Luke gets past Sloane and gets to the door and is able to look outside. Wits awareness test.
I mean, he broke line of sight. He could be anywhere. 3.
Okay. You see... He hasn't... Oh, he broke line of sight when he cut. Oh, wait, no, he's definitely got that. Yeah, 3's not going to be enough to cut through.
Yeah. I mean, the only other argument would be he couldn't do it this round. He would have to wait till next round. But whatever.
I don't think it takes an action to activate. So long as nobody sees you right now, you can turn it on.
Plus, it totally makes sense to me that the extraordinarily high-level Assamite that was getting his ass kicked is allowed to run away. I'm fine with it. So I like bust open the door. I'm like, fuck! He got away. And I actually need to make a willpower check to not frenzy because the object of my desire has been denied me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Roll willpower, please.
Uh-huh.
-2 for the Bane severity, please.
Yep. I got one. So.
You punch a wall, but you don't frenzy.
All right.
You're able to hold it in. There's a bit of a con moment, though.
Only enough room in this church for one frenzying
goddamn
vampire.
Fucking judge, you fucking savant piece of fuck.
The
Oh, it's noisy.
sound has returned,
Yes.
and the crackle of the currently growing fire.
Are there no sprinklers?
Yeah.
Would there be an
an
automated fire suppression system in a?
It's a historical New York place. If it's within the
Sometimes they make them install them. That's actually
if it's up to code, because like if it's an actual historical site, then the
Let's see if this is up to code. This is the World of Darkness, of course.
Yeah, I'll take that. That seems fair.
Nope.
Well, yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We got plenty.
We totally installed them. Here's the suitcase you dropped, Fire Marshal.
Fuck you, New York. This is the most New York thing too. Ugh, I'm disgusted by my own. Ugh.
This is the World of Darkness. It's more bribe heavy, okay? Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
I lost track of where we were on the initiative.
Two of them have to go, and then the 2 of you have to go.
Okay, the congregants.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
congregants. Okay. So the congregant that's currently getting his face bashed in is going to try and shoot Charlie again. Charlie has a stupid amount of defense.
A little
Ooh!
bit.
I rolled a success on a chance die.
Oh shit.
So that's going to be 2 bashing, converted to 1 bashing because it's... He pulls the trigger twice, and a pair of rounds go right into Charlie's abdomen. Through the dress.
Oh.
Staining it more. But bullets don't work the same on vampires as they do on humans, so... The kindred just kind of... The kindred can sustain it. The sundress cannot.
Oh. Can I embrace my sundress?
Writing that down too.
Really, this is proving the efficacy of birdshot against Toreador fashionistas.
Let's go spread. All right. The one that's currently on the ground, by the altar, starts getting up sees a pathway past the fire to the sacristy, gets up and starts moving in that direction. Running through the opposite side. So he ran past the fire.
He got through. He's no longer in eyesight.
Yes.
Bitch.
There is one currently on the altar still, though. This is the one that went to stab Sloane.
Yeah. It is 2 for us. 2 initiatives for us.
Yep. So it's Charlie and Delia. Would Charlie like to smash?
Charlie like to smash. Not only would Charlie like to smash, Charlie's gonna get shot and just scream, "Fuck me! Like, how do you shoot someone in a church? Don't you have any fucking respect?" And just smash him in the face.
Charlie,
I hear that.
Inside, Charlie was doing that. Charlie frenzying though, so the beast just punch.
Oh yeah, she's thinking that there's just full sentences and like "how dare yous" and all that. No, it's just a lot of screaming. But in her head, it sounded really cool.
How many dice does Charlie have for this attack?
How do again? My brain just went boop. I don't know how to roll it again.
What's your dex brawl?
That's Dex Brawl. 4.
Would you be adding any blood surge to this?
Do I want to try this again?
You only live twice.
That's fair. I'll rouse again. And I will attempt to not fuck this up. So rolling the rouse.
So you, it's 1d10, and if you roll 6 or higher, you don't get hungry.
It's 1d10. Okay. I didn't get hungry.
Yay!
Hooray!
So, for the sake of knowing what time it is, for the sake of narrative, I'm going to roll out how this goes down. Luke is outside. Sloane sees from the left sacristy, sees the other guy run through the right sacristy, right out the door and into Luke.
Oh.
Who's now very upset he lost the guy he was fighting.
Yeah. We'll resolve what happens in that little alleyway after next episode.
Oh.
Sloane can chase after as well. So now this guy is not only run into Luke, but tries to run away and bumps into Sloane in the process. For the Slook sandwich.
I don't like that.
Luke sounds fantastic. I'm gonna tell you now. My plan is to fish him. I'm gonna be melding his arms and legs to his torso.
Jesus Christ. We'll deal with that next episode.
If you keep his mouth intact, he could still talk, right?
That's the idea.
Oh.
In her frenzy, Charlie's not hungry, right?
No, she has like a hat, like just the one slash, and that's it. So
Yeah.
Not a fool.
Charlie ain't, Charlie isn't hungry. So, Charlie does not drink from the pulp that she turns this guy into.
But it's freshly squeezed.
No pulp. I don't like pulp.
No.
Yeah, right. Hands in the pockets. Okay.
I have pockets. Wait.
That's a wrestling joke. Freshly sweet. Okay. Anyway.
I was with you, Mr. Cassidy.
Thank you. Delia is the one outlier in this situation because Charlie is going to be blood covered, and Delia just got that text message.
Yeah, one hand stashing the blood vial, and then the other is just like, oh no! Looks to Charlie, oh no!
Charlie is now covered in blood, fists mainly, and feet. And it's one of those Charlie turns her head as Delia says, oh no, Charlie, just coming out of the frenzy, can turn and scream, what?
Nothing important. It could wait for later. And she slowly slides behind the pillar.
And as we wrap up this episode, I would like Delia to announce what she read.
Do. You're so lucky my phone battery has survived this long. Please hold.
I'm scared.
Holding.
Do. It's on Discord again, right?
Scared.
It's on Discord. It was also texted directly to your phone.
No.
Oh, and somebody got a
Hold on.
really panicked message.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, wait, did this get texted to somebody?
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Well, someone in the ether just now received a text. Hey, ATD, we need to talk like ASAP. Got a hit from a contact at Steinhertz. Someone's tracking blood. And they work at Pita Tinka Pharma? Tipka, right? I think it'll benefit us both to figure this out. From Danny. See, it was important that I read it in the middle of the battle. I was useless anyway. Knowing things is my only skill here.
So some random normie just got a message about somebody in a pharmaceutical company tracking blood.
Blood. Shit.
They're texting their aunt about this.
I
Panicked.
can't wait. I can't wait for Hannity to report this. As evidence of a conspiracy.
Oh, beautiful.
But with that, you're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight on Twitter and on our Discord as the Conry, as displayed right above my head here. I've been your storyteller. And my favorite part of the night hasn't happened yet. As there's a dark room with the sparse illumination of 4 LED screens. Probably plasma, actually, now I'm thinking about it. 4K style. All of them illuminating a single figure. You brought it up again, that's what I'm thinking about.
Fuck you.
Shrouded in the artificial light and the pale glow. What looks like Excel documents.
Nightmares.
A single individual. Rapid fire. As though Lint's playing piano. Speed types on keyboards. Zzz, multiple. As they look up and maps start to arise. They lean back, their hands behind their head, and smile. Thank you everybody for having patience to hang out with us. Until we see you again, I have been Conry. With me from the Midwest,
Zed.
from the pastel corners of New Jersey,
Dara.
from the woods,
Riley.
and from the library.
Sandra Lee.
Hope to see you again soon. Have fun raiding, and remember to always stay evil. Good night, everybody.